We live? What's up? What up? What up? It's Thursday. Takedown Thursday. See some people already up in the live stream. What is this? Something new? Members only live stream. Ooh. Schedule your live to. Oh, wow. Uh-oh. That's pretty cool. I don't think we were ready for that. That's pretty cool. Got some new technology over here. Not going to use it, though. Somebody said, happy Friday Eve. Man, let me get through Thursday, bro. Let me get through Thursday first. Yeah, we get it. All systems are go. Yeah, man, we back. What else can I say? We back. Happy to be back. LL Snap, what's up, man? LL Snap said, you didn't start right on time. I got to get my tea, fix my hair, get the lights right, get the microphone on. This ain't no regular microphone. Got to get the power to the microphone. LL Snap says, you got me in trouble in gym for harassing. Yep, got you, bro. Got him. Yo, I got I got him. Got him. LL Snap thought he was safe for me. You're not safe. You're not safe for me. LL Snap thought I couldn't get to him. I got to him already. I got the LL Snap. He said he got in trouble. LL Snap. LL Snap got to be on his best behavior from now on. He can't be acting like you. Oh, man. Oh, I need that laugh. I needed that. Thank you, man. I needed that. That was a good laugh right there. We got a lot going on. You know, we kind of chilled today. Who got in trouble recently? No, everybody been pretty good, so. LL Snap. LL Snap. LL Snap. He got in trouble with his wife and other people out here. LL Snap. I'm sorry, everybody. I didn't mean to get LL Snap in trouble. I didn't mean to get him in trouble. They got LL Snap thought he was safe on here. He thought. That's good, man. We got to start Thursday off with a nice laugh, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. We got some Gable Stevenson. We got some Dana White. Who else? I don't know. Who else in trouble? I don't know, man. I am going to try to check out that RAF, that Real American Freestyle today. I'm not sure what time it's going to be. I need to check that out. I think that's it for today. You guys know I like to take my time, get into the stream. I used to rush to get through stories and blah, blah, blah. Now I just chill on here now. Where's Josiah at? Josiah, he said he can't wait for Who's Number 130. When is that? Next week or something? LL Snap said, Tony said, I told him to watch out for your leg locks. I told Tony he's the ops. I got the inside scoop, man. I'm good. That ain't bad. Josiah wins. Who's number one? When is that? I know it's going to be in Pittsburgh. So who's going out to Pittsburgh? I don't want to blame Belair for that one, though. LL Snap says, I told you I was a good leg locker. Josiah said, you got to find out. I'm trying to figure out when RAF is. Oh, can we stream it? You can stream it from their website? Oh, no, you got to go to Fox Nation. LL Snap said, Tony told me you were good too, and you used to bully Roberto. Yeah, I can't bully Roberto no more. He too big. When is this thing going down? They don't even got it on here. I don't know if I want to sign up for Fox Nation. Why couldn't they put it on YouTube? They should just put it on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know when. I'm not sure when it is. It's today sometime. LOL snap. Josiah says gotta leg lock the devil named Moneyberg. All right, everybody, we got some good stuff. I'm not sure where we're gonna start. Let's start with some Instagram. See what's going on over there. October 24th. That's next week. Oh, okay. October 24th. Whew, I thought it was September 24th. This tea good, man. The tea good. Says what you need after weigh-ins. You know LOL Snap had some Cuban. What were the Cubans taking before the weigh-ins or after the weigh-ins?
Weighed in, and it's time to get your energy back. Here's exactly how much food and water you need to wrestle like a monster. Right off the scale, you want 2 pounds of water mixed with 500 to 1,000 milligrams of pink Himalayan sea salt and a squeeze of lemon or lime. Then 5 minutes later, it's all about the food. We're going 60 grams of complex carbohydrates combined with 60 grams of simple carbohydrates. Once you knock that out, take a nice 10 to 20 minute stroll to help the digestion. Last step is sipping on 1 to 2 pounds of water until you wrestle. And just like that, you're ready to tear some dude's head off. Comment the word cut for access to my free cutting.
That don't really help jiu-jitsu people. Well, it depends on when you weigh in. You know, if you do ADCC Opens, you weigh in the night before. But if you're competing under IBJJF, you weigh in, you got about 5 minutes. You try to chug some water, eat a little bit if you can, and then you got to go in 5 minutes. LL Snap says pickle juice and raw honeycomb. All right. I might need to try that. I've been following what the cyclists do. Josiah says cut. So his system works good if you got, in wrestling, you got time, you got some time before you go wrestle and weigh in, but you weigh in and you wrestle later. Most tournaments I do, 5 minutes. Here you go. You weighed in. Okay. They calling you up. You on deck. You in the bullpen. Josiah says, speaking of IBJJF, no-gi pans, Max Hansen ain't winning it. Cause I think my homeboy might take it. My homeboy might take that pans lightweight. I think hopefully he's doing adult though. My boy beat Hansen before and he's beat Grippo before, I believe. He said, this man really told me, Tony said, don't destroy that man leg when he comes down here. Tony said he not going to be your friend no more if you hurt me. All right, I'm safe now. I think I'm safe now. Whatever LOL Snap do, he go too hard, I'm going to Tony. He says, nah, he who shall not be named will take. I don't know, my homeboy beat your homeboy. LOL Snap can't beat me. I got the inside scoop. He gonna be in big trouble. He hurt me. He can't knock me out. He can't tear my leg off. I'm good. I can't mess up. He says, I'll turn Tony into a pretzel. You can't hurt your homeboy. I know you won't. I know you won't hurt your homeboy. Josiah says, I saw on IG that Fionn will compete at Polaris for the last time. Say it's not so. Well, I don't know what she's trying to do. Well, we do need to see what she was doing on. I think I missed the stories. She had all that stories posted. Maybe she got it up again. Let's go check out Fionn. LOL Snap, we're going to go to Fionn's page. Please be on your best behavior. LOL Snap says, ask Tony what I did to him the other day, and I had him pissed off for a week. I think I'll be okay, bro. I think I'll be okay. LL Snap, just like LL Snap and He Who Shall Not Be Named, or Max Hansen. That would be a movie. Oh, here we go. Hello. We got Miss Fionn Davies versus Margot Cicerelli. Fionn, I don't really bet against Fionn, but Margot been doing good. Margot been, I think I'm going to do a video on her last Polaris event that she did. She did good. These two have fought before, but not in no-gi as far as I know. Josiah says, I was leg locked the other day and I was humbled. Yeah, well, yeah, that's how the sports go. Margot winning. You know what? I don't know. Because Margot got pieced up last time. The only thing with Margot, she not strong. she really not strong. And Fionn is like, Fionn really, really strong. Plus technical. LL Snap says, Tony said you used to be the boogeyman in your division and people didn't respect you. It would be honored to collect your leg. You know what? I might collect your leg. Why you think I don't work leg locks? All right, man. I'm coming down to Houston, and I want to see if all that talk is real, man. I'm coming down to Houston one of these days. I'm coming down to Houston. Yeah, Polaris 32. Oh, did Fionn say it was gonna be her last one? Says Fionn, she be changing her handle too much. She was Fionn and from the block. Now what's up? She was Fionn from the block. Now she's Fionn Pennington in London. Then she'll be Fionn living in Spain. You know, what's she doing? Says Fionn is back for the final time and she faces her toughest test yet. Are you sure? I like Margot. Margot's cool. She cool with me. I don't think Margot her toughest test. Margot might get pressled up too. Josiah says, just don't leg lock me or he who shall not be named. He might tap out. I might pass out. LL Snap says, I told you I'm the Loch Ness Monster of Houston. I still have to open mat and clear the whole gym. All right, man. I'm coming to Houston. I'm not going to talk no more. I'm just going to go down to Houston. I'll go down to Houston. This might be pretty good. I guess Fionn says, seeing myself blind again is jarring. Is that blonde or pink? It's hard to keep up with Fionn. I mean, I'm not supposed to keep up with her. That's Josiah's job. I don't know what her hair color is right now. We're not going to really find out. Jason Whitfield says, Margot has been training a lot in no-gi with J-Flow. But Fionn is a different level now. I mean, Fionn, the female J-Flow. Fionn is J-Flow. she F-Flow. She Fionn Flow. Fionn combining not wrestling, but judo and jiu-jitsu to a level nobody else has. Guy would be more. Well, Fionn already pieced her up. You guys want to see the match where Fionn pieced her up? She already did that. Fionn pieced everybody you like. She pieced up, except for, that was kind of close match with Adele. And Fionn be legit beating up the guys. LL Snap says, you should have asked Tony about my cardio drills. We know about your cardio drills. We know about your cardio drills. Is that Mama Fionn? Hey, Mama. All right, that's Fionn in a couple years. Fionn is the goddess of jiu-jitsu. She is the Taylor Swift of jiu-jitsu. Wait, does Fionn have 4 stripes on her black belt? That can't be her belt. How she got 4 stripes on her belt? That ain't possible. Maybe they give stripes out a lot easier over there. Yeah, how does she have that many stripes on her black belt? She's a 4th degree black. How is she? How is she a 4th degree black belt? Oh, she says she forgot hers at home. I was like, wait a second. So for people that don't know, those stripes are about 3 years each. Nah, man, she good, man. You know, LOL Snap, he done had everything, so he jaded. Just like I said, I'm older than Fionn. She already 30 by 1 year. That ain't nothing, man. All right, Arma. Sorry, Fionn, we're not trying to scope you out. We're just seeing what's going on. Got the kids class. All right, she doing it. I guess she in Spain. It says what coaches won't teach you.
Wrestling, and that is how to drill. This is called phase 1 drilling. Just getting the body warmed up, hitting the moves with clean reps, and notice how my partner is letting me hit the moves. The whole point of phase 1 is to get warmed up and hit clean reps. Now in phase 2, I start finish, really focusing on popping my hips through and lifting and cutting the corner, stuff like that. And notice how my partner is still letting me hit the move. Also, don't be afraid to throw some setups in there too. Now on to phase 3. This is where your partner is going to give you a little bit of a look. So if I were to shoot a high crotch, he's going to give me a crackdown. If I go single leg, he's going to give me a wizard. Just a little look to give you a little feeling of it. So these are the 3 main points of drilling: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. You can change it up depending on your intensity, but this was after practice. We were just kind of rolling and flowing, going pretty slow. But if you want a more intense workout, you can definitely ramp that up. I would follow the phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. This should be taught way more in wrestling, and that is
LOL Snap. LOL Snap got that Cuban. He got higher standards than us. Fionn's mom got into, I believe both of her parents got into judo. If you guys didn't know, I did a video on Fionn. Josiah says, that's awesome, Jason Whitfield. I used to practice judo as a kid too. Uh-oh, Helen. What's up, Helen?
Imagine this, running here is the best.
You know that music's gonna get me hit with copyright. You guys know Helen from Greece, so she out there running. She looking for love. That's what she running towards. She running towards love. She's looking for a Mushmaster over there. Mushmaster, where you at? She looking for you. LL Snap says, watch me pop out of a bush. she definitely gonna run from you. She gonna I don't think she can get away from you. Speaking of wrestling, we got Miss Sarah McMahon. What's she got to say? Not clicking. Alrighty. What'd you say, Jason Whitfield? He says, is this eco wrestling evolved? I'm interested, but is it getting a little close to actual drilling? I don't think the eco wrestling has been evolved. I can't wait for LOL Snap to see the ecological wrestling.
For psychology, what we're talking about is goal setting. So if you're interested in setting goals, maintaining them, and achieving them, be sure to come to this week's Wednesday morning, 11:30 to 12:30, or Thursday evening, 8 to 9 p.m. And we can dig into these goals and make sure that you guys achieve what you want. So a quick reminder, this week in sports psychology, what we're talking about is goal setting. So if you're interested in setting goals, maintaining them, and achieving them, be sure to come to this week's Wednesday morning, 11:30 to 12:30, or Thursday evening, 8 to 9 p.m. And we can dig into these goals and make sure that you guys achieve what you want. So a quick reminder, this week.
Dorothy Slipper says, homeboy in the comments is thirsty. Let me see. What did he say? I went to school with you. I'm proud of you. Accomplished. I was a shy, dorky dude that took your tray up to the cafeteria cleaning station when you had your arm in a sling, friends with Daniel. She's married, bro. Just leave her alone. Now, that might not stop somebody like LOL Snap, but she's married. Hope you're doing well. All right, that means that means all right. Okay, well, she busy, bro. Talking about who's number 130, they got Achilles Hosha. He about to hurt somebody. Not a good match, but you know, it happens like that sometimes. A better me, what's up? It says, been forever since I caught a live stream, new backdrop. Bro, I'm in different places, bro. people be like, where you at? I'm like, I'm in different places. They're like, you didn't make your bed that one day? I was like, I'm not at home. I'm somewhere else, man. We got Miss Amit. She over here getting her mat.
Thank you.
But happy to have you back. He says, Jason Whitfield says, wow, this is just open. This is just the open mat at Fight Sports. Listen, none of those tournaments are harder than the Fight Sports training. You know, none of the training at Fight Sports is so dangerous and crazy. LL Snap says, I hate when people don't wear shirts. Yeah, it's pretty gross. Dorothy Slipper says, is Achilles Hosha really good at stalling like his dad? He I don't know. He actually does go for the kill. The only problem is he might hurt himself or hurt you or both at the same time.
We're really proud to have you as a partner.
That is the coolest thing. Oh my gosh. I wasn't expecting that.
I didn't think you would be.
No. So awesome. Yeah, I see the black mat.
Oh my God.
Is that my name? Oh my God.
So you guys know she got somebody decided to put her on a mat for some reason. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Flow Wrestling. Just burned my tongue. Tea was too hot. Dorothy Slippers says, bro, another mat video of a meet. You trying to make me slip just like Josiah. I mean, maybe you got a pregnant fetish. That's not me, but you know, you guys do whatever you guys do whatever you guys want. You guys do whatever you want. You know, LOL Snap. LOL Snap, you gotta stop rating these girls, man. This is a family channel, LOL Snap. Family channel. I gotta keep reminding myself and you. Yeah, but you know what? She's got a gold medal in wrestling. That's all that matters. LOL Snap, please, LOL Snap. People can read what you're posting. This is a family channel. I don't know. I haven't had the chance to figure that out or find that out, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay, actually. I'm okay not knowing that, but it's good to know. I feel like LOL Snap got a lot of experience with that. I feel like you got a lot of experience. Dorothy Slipper says, LOL Snap speaks the truth to power. Nah, he just get everybody canceled. That's what he's about to do. Get me kicked off YouTube. He said, you're missing out. Nah, I'm okay. I ain't no rush to find that out. No rush to find that out.
Control this wrist, you're not going to be able to attack. 3 really important details. My elbow's got to be high, my shoulder's in his chest, and I'm controlling this wrist so I can start taking ground. Learn how to master the underhook and the over-under system on my Oceans instructional. Here's why you're not scoring out of your underhooks.
Man, I'm going to get canceled, bro. They're going to take my YouTube channel. All this work to get to 1,000 subscribers, put LOL Snapped on there, boom, get the stream nuked. YouTube taken down, demonetized, demonized. Dorothy Slipper says, everyone on earth has an instructional. Well, yeah, everybody's got something to teach. And, you know, even Josiah got something to teach us. It says, could you survive a wrestling warm-up? This is what LOL Snap be doing when he's listening to the live stream. You guys don't even warm up anymore. I don't do those no more. Can't even get jiu-jitsu people to warm up no more. That's crazy. Jason Winfield says, I've never known Achilles to stall or go backwards in anything. He failed his driving test because he couldn't park the car in backwards. I only go forward. Well, his name is Achilles, so that makes sense. Now, because his name is Achilles, we know what his weakness is, right, everybody? What's his weakness? LL Snap said, this is light. But listen, people don't warm up anymore. Can't get no jiu-jitsu person to warm up. Dorothy Slipper says, I don't remember flamenco from my wrestling practices. It was a down block. I said, what up, chat? What did I miss? We just kind of going through Instagram a little bit. Got the GOAT, Hodger Gracie. He had, all them guys were good when they had that curly hair. Hodger, Marcelo, when they all had that curly hair, they were good. For sure can't play that rock music. Was that Tellez? That was Tellez. That's Sanji. I think he tapped everybody out that tournament. Oof. That could have been bad. I don't know if that was Sanji. That was Sanji. There's Henzo. When everybody had that curly hair, that's when they were good. You know what Hodger, is that Shinya Aoki? That must have been Absolute. You know when Hodger grab your foot, that's it, man. He want to break that. Is that Fabricio? Yeah, that's Fabricio. Hodger just the right amount of, maybe that wasn't Solo earlier. Or did he do Absolute and weight class? Oh, shoot, you got caught in a triangle? Hodger, Hodger had really good defense. Taking your back from nowhere, out of space, He definitely beat Jacare. He beat everybody that year. He beat everybody. Oh, well, no. He didn't beat Marcelo. Did he beat Marcelo? Marcelo didn't make it in that app. That's 2005. He beat everybody up that year. Dorothy Slipper said Sanji's hair wasn't that curly. He didn't have, actually he used to have hair, but it wasn't curly. That's why he was that's why he couldn't beat Hodger or Marcelo. He didn't have the curls in his hair. He should have got a perm or something. How does that work for people with that hair texture? Dorothy Slipper says, that Tellez Hodger match from 2005 is hilarious. LL Snap says, when you come down, we can get on the podcast. I'll keep it Craig Jones PG. That ain't Craig Jones. Craig Jones, man, you guys have me canceled quick. He says, my hair is curly. When do my powers kick in? Oh, if they didn't kick in now, I'm sorry. That's why I'm growing my hair. Hodger, Jason Whitfield says, Hodger is the only guy to tap out all his ADCC opponents and weight and Absolute, which still pisses Gordon off to this day. Why didn't Gordon do it then? Because Hodger's on a different level, that's why. Dorothy Slippers, that standing RNC on Jacare is incredible. He didn't even have to break his arm and run around the mat for 3 minutes that time. Well, because he couldn't do it. We had some good matches back in those days. You could see Hodger, Jacare, Marcelo, and they all used to fight each other. You don't even see that no more. You never gonna see the best guys. You're not gonna see Gordon and Tynan and whoever else, Mika Galval fighting each other. That would never happen. But back then, Hodger would fight Jacare. Jacare would fight Marcelo. Marcelo would fight Hodger. Andre Galval getting beat up over there too. All your favorite grapplers were getting beat up. Nobody could win back in those days. That was good times. Good times, man. Good times. Says different athletes as roommates. It's always the wrestler and the football player.
I'll eat that in front of me right now.
Yeah,
why? You wrestle this week? Yes, bro. I have a duel on Thursday.
So let me guess. You're cutting.
I am 10 pounds over, and I'm kind of freaking out. I really don't know if I'm going to make it this time.
Why don't you just wrestle what you weigh then?
That's crazy. Why would I actually wrestle what I weigh? What?
Because then you can be hydrated and healthy and be just fine.
Nah. I think I'm going to go sit in the sauna, run on the elliptical, get back in the sauna, and then do a hot Epsom salt bath. That sounds way better.
Whatever, dude. It's bulking season. I got 20 pounds put on.
Could you not eat that in front of me right now?
Why? You wrestle this week?
Yes, bro.
You know what? The culture in wrestling, I think, is getting a little bit better, especially with the social media. Man, I mean, I'll be honest. Usually when you cut, if you're cutting, I forget what the percentage was. Was it Mushmaster that said if you're cutting more than 5% or something, it's going to affect your athletic performance? So I do agree with that, At a certain point, the thing with wrestling is that you do have time. You do get time, right, after your weigh-ins. But for jiu-jitsu people, unless you weigh in the night before, okay, maybe you can bounce back. Sometimes you don't bounce back. Look at those MMA fighters. They definitely don't bounce back properly. Or, otherwise, I mean, if you're doing like IBJF or something, you got to weigh in the day of and right before your match. Like, I don't know if it really makes sense to cut too much. Jason Whitfield says, how much performance does it cut if you barely have any athletic performance? Well, you go to 0. You can't go lower than 0. Asking for a friend. You can't go lower than 0. Well, hopefully your technique's good. Dorothy Slipper says, is it the coaches that make wrestlers cut to fit in a weight slot they have, or is it the athletes that want an advantage? It's a little bit of both. Well, it starts young. And, I mean, when you're little, who's telling you to cut weight? It's going to be your coach, maybe your parents trying to move you down a weight. But then after several years, the athletes internalize all that. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Dorothy Slipper says, making a child cut weight sounds like child abuse. Yeah. Well, it's so ingrained in the culture of wrestling that it's kind of tough. And, the parents, they see, oh, well, Johnny's going to go against a bigger guy. I want him to go down a weight, That's usually what happens. And Little Snap says, I don't agree with cutting weight now that I'm older, but back then they used to tell my mom. Says football season is over, get him down. He too big, get him down. We need him 155, 175. I feel like I'm ready for a Reddit story. Is that right? Let's see. It says controversial figures in BJJ. I guess I'm warmed up enough for this. That tea's good. It says every now and then I feel it's the old guard's responsibility to bring things up. People hate when I bring stuff up, especially on social media. They're like, why do you care? Why are you bringing this up? Yeah, it's hard to win on social media. There was a person who was brought up in another thread for being racist, and a bunch of newer people seemed surprised. Who could that be? Who could that be? We got a lot of racists in this sport. LOL Snaps is controversial figures in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You will see Alec. Yeah, but it's okay. Well, it depends on what kind of controversial figure you are. If you over there spewing racism, all right. I didn't say nothing racist on purpose. Dorothy Slipper says, how many times they going to bring up Ryan Hall's letter about Lloyd Irvin on Reddit per month? They never going to forget Lloyd Irvin. He wasn't even convicted of anything. Not that I'm defending Lloyd Irvin. He wasn't convicted of anything. I mean, but I know why they keep bringing him up, but is it better me, Alec, all out here stirring the pot? The pot was already stirred. I'm coming over here to smell the pot. Taste test a little bit. Yeah, they're right. LOL Snap says, only thing I'm racist against is Cuban women. LOL Snap. Nah, you said some other stuff too. Yeah, the letter by Ryan Hall says there's a bunch of horrible people in BJJ that we have allowed to just exist with next to no consequences. This is a sport and community. Well, we don't have a real federation to what's that word? Not correct people, but to put them on blast. Jason Whitfield says, Johnny Hendricks, the UFC champ and NCAA wrestler, cut weight since he was a kid. He missed weight really bad his last few fights. He said his body just refused to do it anymore. Well, he abused his body. LL Snap says, man, I'm sick of all this cancel culture. I can understand that, but sometimes we got to call some stuff out, man, Oh, I'm going to call some stuff out. But the thing is, what about the Moneyberg? Would you consider the Moneyberg situation a cancel culture, or was that like people kind of, taking out the trash? Am I taking out the trash, or am I just adding on to the cancel culture? Says this is a sporting community that has long talked about how sticking around is kind of an asshole filter. That ain't true. But the longer I am around, the harder I find that to believe. Most of this stuff seems to blow over quickly, and the outrage of everybody should leave Team XYZ falls flat after a few weeks. If you're new and just finding out some of the stuff, I'm sorry that this may sully your view of BJJ. LL Snap says, let the man make it. Nah, I ain't gonna let him do that. I ain't gonna forget. I ain't gonna let him do what he want to do. How's J-Rod doing? I don't know how he's doing. I guess he's still doing seminars. LL Snap says, I would say 45 to 55% of these gym motors are creep and pedophile. Well, yeah. Well, gym owners, yeah. What do we expect? We already walking into. Well, new people don't know that though. If say you don't have a wrestling background, you don't have a martial arts background, you won't know that stuff. It better me says J-Rod looking huge. I guess he's just been eating. I don't know what he's doing. He gotta change. He changing his appearance so you don't recognize him no more. Cut his hair. He gonna pull an Isaac Michelle. I see a couple people I know on there. I see a couple people I know and met in real life on there. I'm not gonna bring their names up. Wrestling's not bad. You know what? I go to Safe Sport. I could go to Safe Sport right now. You want me to go to Safe Sport? LL Snap, I hope you're not on Safe Sport. I go to Safe Sport. Sometimes I go to Safe Sport. I'm like, oh, what are they doing in wrestling? I can see everybody that got in trouble in let me go see. Yeah, the centralized disciplinary database. We ain't got that in jiu-jitsu. Let's see, wrestling. Bro, there's a ton of people getting in trouble in wrestling. The last one was September 23rd. That was 2 days ago. So when people are like, why do you care? Why are you saying this stuff? I'm like, man, because I know people getting in trouble over here in wrestling. And we ain't even in Safe Sport in jiu-jitsu. I want to see what the jiu-jitsu people will be. There'll be 5 million cases over here. LL Snap says, sometimes you hear about the wrestling coach running a train. Okay, that's terrible. That's about it. That's bad. Dorothy Slipper says, how come the main photo only has girls? Boys get abused all the time. That's true. There is no gender when it comes to abuse. I mean, I'm saying with the people that do the abusing and the people that are suffering the abuse. It says, didn't all of us boys hockey say they got abused a few years ago? Oh, I didn't know about that one. Let me just go through what happened recently. I'm not gonna read the names over here. It says misconduct subject to appeal, not yet final. Criminal disposition involving a minor. Sexual misconduct. September 23rd. That was in Minnesota. Ohio, allegations of misconduct. Temporary, September 15th. Nevada, allegations of misconduct, temporary suspension. 8/25, August 25th. Texas, USA, allegations of misconduct, temporary suspensions. August 6th, Oklahoma, sexual misconduct, physical and emotional misconduct. July 2nd, Colorado, criminal disposition, sexual misconduct. June 23rd, Nebraska, allegations of misconduct. A lot of allegations. PA, criminal disposition involving a minor. June 16th, Texas. I can go down and down. That's just, we just in this all just this year. Okay, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. But those are cases that were found out. Kyle Snyder was on there. LOL Snaps is okay. I'm not gonna read what you just posted. Yeah, but that's, this is America, bro. This is America. This don't fly here in America. Yeah, but if it was your son or daughter, you'd probably be upset. He says IBJF does save sport, but they're not in they not in the database. You're not in the database though. You're not in the database, bro. What they do, you take the course, but you not a real sport. Maybe grappling is. You not, man, IBJJF ain't real. You're not really in the system. You take the course, but you're not really in the system like that. You're not in the system. IBJJF ain't really real. They let you have access to the course, but you're not in the database. They don't recognize IBJJF. You can't find nothing about IBJJF. They do safe sport, but I mean, they only make the black belts take safe sport. You need to make all your athletes do safe sport. Of course, you're nobody in the system. Dorothy Slipper says, I'm never leaving my child alone in Texas. Yeah, don't leave your child alone. LL Snap says, if it was your son who was in America. Yeah, but what if it's your daughter? So once you start, you can't make exceptions for if it's a boy or girl, right? You got it. The law needs to be blind in that regard. It needs to be equal in that regard. LL Snap says, IBJF got predators in the upper bracket. Yo, Brazilians wild. They got some different rules. And stuff that would be allegations, and not just allegations, but actual bad stuff happening. The Brazilians be like, well, whatever, man. So I mean, if you wouldn't let that fly, then you can't let this other stuff fly. LO Snap says, I'm not gonna say their names, but I know. Yeah. I mean, yeah. They need to be in this database. The thing is with those Brazilians, if they get any kind of conviction or anything, I think they have to go back to Brazil. I could be wrong. That happened to homeboy, what was his name? Hermes Franca or somebody? That happened to a couple Brazilians. All these Brazilians would be gone if they did that. All these Brazilians would have to go back to Brazil. Someone says, I think the fundamental problems lies with judging character based on skill instead of, their character. You guys don't judge anybody based off their character in this sport. Just how good they are. It says, I'm one of those who thinks belts, especially black belts, shouldn't be awarded by skill alone. They should also reflect your character and maturity as a person. Well, you know what? Some of your favorite grapplers, they have no maturity, and their character's terrible. Some of your favorite, okay, it was that guy. Yeah, that guy. That guy. Oh, it's been a couple Brazilians that fled to Brazil. And you know what? They teaching kids classes in Brazil. You could say that's a cultural difference. I don't know. I'm following the rules here in America. Even though LOL Snap don't want to follow the rules, I'm going to follow the rules here in America. Yeah, most of your favorite black belts got no character, man. That's just the way it is. You guys love them. You're going to keep buying their DVD, keep supporting them. Nothing I can do. Someone says, I blame old karate movies where the martial arts master was also some wise sage with a deep philosophical background. That trope kind of got proliferated through the culture. I heard someone say if a lot of large BJJ guys couldn't make money off of it, they'd be stocking shelves at a Dollar General. Instead, they get cult followings. High-level BJJ people and gym owners are people too, with the same moral failings as anyone. I refuse to train at a gym where I don't think I could spend a 2-hour car ride with the owner without being made uncomfortable. Says the problem is when the black belt is awarded by a dick, his moral standard will be low, or being a bad person could even be valued. I think jiu-jitsu as you progress just reveals who you are. I don't know about that. Just like money or power, the more you have it, the more it can bring out your true color. What about Moneyberg? Couple names getting talked about down here. Yeah. I mean, depending on how deep you want to search, you can find everything out. Allegations and people running from the state. You got people in jiu-jitsu. My homeboy, the homeboy that invented the Barado Plata got in trouble. It's terrible, bro. This sport is pretty bad. Because I've been trying to do a video on the Barado Plata. Maybe I can frame it somehow better. Dorothy Slipper says, reading about some of these guys don't hurt you, only the open mats. Fight sports don't hurt you, only the open mats. Nah, bro, you're going to get hurt. Yeah, a lot of guys. Some people I know. I'm not going to bring up anybody's names. Yeah, a lot of abuse in this sport. I call it the Meow Plata now. It's still the Barado Plata, but I mean, we just can't talk about the guy that created it. Because even they say that they call it the Barado Plata too. I just don't want to change any names. De La Hiva, Barado Plata. Someone said, how about all the rapists and pedos? Yeah, we got a ton of those. Yeah, pretty bad. Let me go back to some should we watch a match or two? Oh, let's listen to Shintaro. He got something to say. Pedro Paula. Pedro Paula. LL Snap says, I'm not a bad person, I'm just blunt. Okay. We got Shigashi. Hopefully you don't hit me with the copyright.
Judo TV, your premier destination for live and on-demand judo coverage. Never miss a throw. Higashi brand.
Jason Whitfield says, speaking of good character athletes, J-Rod is doing a lot of gi recently. He just started training in the gi. Should he wear a brown belt? It's like jiu-jitsu guys going in a judo class, not the same. Well, I don't know. I'm not training with that kid.
Train hard. Helps you measure and audit.
People think, oh, little kids, millions of kids doing judo, academic school systems, bow, posture, kids doing it during gym class. And then you also think like Inoue, Abe, Shohei, Olympic champion, Japanese physical sport excellence. That's what you think when you say judo in Japan. USA, you say judo, they think judo chop. Hey, buddy, are you doing that karate thing? Right? And that's just one segment of the market. When you talk to a martial artist, though, hey, man, I do judo. Do you want to come do judo? You want to go to the dojo and learn some judo? You say that to a jiu-jitsu guy, they immediately think, oh, knee injury, shoulder injury, getting slammed, not fun. You say that to an Aikido guy, fingers kind of being mangled and knees and trips. So, you have one end of the spectrum when you got the general population of the average United States citizens. They think, karate kids thing, martial arts, judo chop, ha ha ha. And then you get the guys who do martial arts who are like, oh my God, it's so very difficult. You don't really capture the essence of what it actually is. And judo is very, very special. And the way you guys talk about it really, really matters because it's mind space, it's mind share. That's what marketing and branding is about. What do you think when we say judo? The way I like to think about it, it's first and foremost a martial art / sport hybrid. Yes, it's definitely a hybrid thing. It is a martial art and it is a sport. And those two things can exist simultaneously. Okay. And, for the people who are like, oh, it's not, you can easily criticize anything and say, oh, it's not a great martial art because, X, Y, and Z. But we're talking about just protecting yourself day to day average. You take a guy that's never worked out before, throw him in a dojo, 3 years, you make it fun and easy. They stay in shape, they get jacked, they lose a lot of weight. Whatever it is, that person's going to be able to defend themselves in 3 years if you do judo. Average guy, out of shape, smokes cigarettes, causing troubles on the street. They pick you out, and then you grab them and you slam them. That's self-defense. That's martial arts. There you go. And there's that embedded philosophy of respect, carrying yourself, discipline. All those things are there too on the discipline side, the martial side. And of course, there is the whole IJF circuit and the sports side. You could watch it, you could consume it. You could see the champions, you could interact with them. There's Instagram stars, and it's a full-blown sport with superstars. So, judo is a martial arts / sports hybrid. That's first and foremost. Who is it for? Now, that's the thing. We really, really want to grow each segment. And yes, for kids, it's great. We all know that. For the older people, though, that's where we sort of have this sort of issue, right? We have to stop talking about knee injuries and all this stuff and shoulder injuries. And IJF realizes this. So whenever there's an injury at one of these Grand Slams, the camera is instructed to turn away and we switch mats right away. Because we don't want to see people get mangled. In every sport, people get injured. And, it's kind of funny because you watch UFC, look at the guy broke his leg and they show the replay. Judo, they'll never do.
He said mangled. Who? We don't be getting mangled in jiu-jitsu unless this Nogi. Who gave this guy I didn't. Well, YouTube did. He got more followers, subscribers, more money, more houses than me. He's doing better than me. It's all good. Dorothy Slipper says, when I think of judo, I think of getting out of a hammer and a tool belt and putting together some nice springy mats for a jiu-jitsu school. No. That's true though.
That guy puts his arm down, snaps his arm. They pull away from the thing and they never show the replay on Judo TV because they don't want that branding of it's a vicious, savage thing because they truly think it's not good for the education side of the sport. So they're consistently thinking how to market the sport. How do we do this thing? And there's sort of this overlapping of the martial and sports situation. And we kind of have to do the same thing as well. We want to be able to push judo out to the general public and say, hey, this is this spectacular thing that will get you fit. It'll make you strong. If you want to lose weight, you can do it. You want to do martial arts? We got you. If you want to learn to self-defend, you will grab someone, slam them, drag them down to the floor, and you'll learn how to choke them and break their arm. If that's what you want. And for the jiu-jitsu guys, because let's just admit, jiu-jitsu has a tenfold population of the judo in the United States, and they're destroying.
Oh, he said tenfold. It's not just we have too many woke people in martial arts. That's fine, man. I'd rather people be a little bit more woke than just numb to everything in this world. He said you get paralyzed at fight sports. Well, fight sports ain't normal. I tell you guys, be careful when you go to fight sports. And that ain't supposed to be happening. You're not supposed to be getting paralyzed in training, but judo, it does happen more often probably. And more concussions. Jason Whitfield says, if you only leave fight sports open mat with just a few vertebrae or two out, it's a good day. Yeah. If you can walk out of there, you're doing good. Some people are not walking out of fight sports. Dorothy Slipper says, the two guys who went to the Olympics from my judo school both have cauliflower ear because they trained wrestling 70% of the time. Awesome.
When it comes to marketing and growing and businesses, and you go to any town in the United States, now jiu-jitsu is very accessible. It's not the same with judo.
Nope.
And so we got to do something about that. There's plenty of people now that have no qualms about putting on a gi and grappling. So why don't we market to those guys? When I go to a jiu-jitsu school and say, hey, judo, this and that, they think, oh, man, I'm going to get slammed and I don't want to get smoked. And it's very difficult, and arms and knees and legs and injury rate. We got to change all that. And first and foremost, we have to make judo easy. And it's our responsibility, if you're listening to this, to get that message out that judo isn't this crazy hard thing that's inaccessible. And if you're listening to this, you're a dojo owner, you have to first and foremost make that reality come true by making judo easier in your gym so that people don't get busted up. Okay? And that's the number one thing. We have to make judo easier and then work on the marketing side of judo. The marketing and the branding. Judo isn't dangerous. All you jiu-jitsu guys, if you want to look good on Instagram and launch someone in an IBJJF tournament, go to your local dojo and do judo. Guarantee you, no one going to slam you. You'll learn in a very safe setting because all judo senseis are very responsible and respective.
Are you sure about that?
Kind of.
There you go. A couple things with that. Did Dream Art close? He says Dream Art is just as bad as Fight Sports. That's why they shut down. They shut down in Houston? What happened? They ran out of money? Shigashi's, I feel like all the judo people, they just trying to avoid USA Judo. Doesn't that seem like that's the case? Of course, you can try to change the culture. Look at it. Look at this look at this picture. That's a glamour shot right there. You guys see that glamour shot? Look at Higashi's glamour shot right here. Look at this glamour shot. Can I zoom in? Look at that glamour shot right there. Higashi, what you doing over there? All right, I'll just keep that there. I just want to talk about it. I just feel like I feel like they don't know what they're trying to do, really. I feel like the judo people, where are my judo people? Where's Mushmaster at? I feel like they don't know what they're trying to do. They trying to do their grassroots, but then the head of the whole organization's all messed up. USA Judo's messed up. And they over there trying to save judo one gym at a time, and they got to fight their organization, their leadership. They got to fight their leadership to promote judo. So I think they're fighting a losing battle, and jiu-jitsu's just they let jiu-jitsu take over, man. Because prior to the 90s, there was more judo There was more judo in America prior to the 90s. Prior to the UFC, there was more judo clubs. And they just I feel like the judo people really didn't use the technology to advance themselves. They still not posting they don't post on social media. They ain't got no TikToks. And you can't stop these jiu-jitsu people from posting. That's all they talk about. Says, how are they going to change that? Going to outlaw throws? What people wanting to do? A lot of jiu-jitsu people do want to learn judo. We just can't find the schools to do it. They made jiu-jitsu easier. Judo should do the same. I mean, in judo class, you do Nawaza. And you know what? You get the crash pads out. Let them get thrown on the crash pad. You good. And I would just limit randori. No more randori, really, unless they're like serious about judo. LO Snap says, he says, yeah, they shut down. Oh, I didn't know that. I went to their last open mat and destroyed that Team Dreamer. It's a complete joke. Oh, my cousin, Izaki beat up my cousin. He don't do no-gi, though. LO Snap be beating up on people that don't do no-gi. Where did he go? Where is he? Did he go back to Brazil? They probably ran out of money. I think that's what happened. Jason Whitfield says, what's crazy is Shintaro is like 80 years old in that pic. Asian is just aged differently. Look at that's a glamour shot right there. I ain't got no pictures looking like that. LO Snap says, judo marketing sucks. I mean, they don't market. What? They don't market. And they got everything we don't have. They got, honor, discipline. They got curriculum. They got, they're in the Olympics. They got everything we don't have. They got everything we don't have, and yet they can't make it seem they can't seem to make it work. You know, I'm not sure why. Yeah, well, I know it's USA Judo's fault. I keep saying that, but I hear these guys, some of my homeboys that are good at judo, they never say nothing about USA Judo. They know if they talk about USA Judo, they're gonna get nuked. But I can talk about USA Judo because I don't give a care. I don't care about USA Judo. I care about the judo people doing well. Whereas USA Judo doesn't care about their judo people. They just care about themselves. But yeah, their marketing, you know, I talked about, you know, they don't work with Ronda Rousey. They don't work with Kayla Harrison. They don't work with Travis Stevens. They don't work with nobody. Dorothy Slipper says they don't work with J-Flow. They don't work with Jimmy Pedro. Yeah, they don't work, man. USA Judo's just terrible, bro. All that potential just to be wasted. Now, if they let me become the head of USA Judo, I had that thing crunk. Dorothy Slipper says, if they are trying to change judo one gym at a time, that should only take a few days. Oh, no. Oh, why are you saying it like that? Because there's only 5 of them left in the USA, which is kind of true. Now, I'm saying, like, the good gyms, there can't be more than 5 or 10 good gyms in America. Like, the whole country. There can't be more than 5 or 10 gyms that are going to produce an Olympian. LL Snap says, we would be great if we took the Brazilians out of jiu-jitsu. We're trying to take the Brazilians. You know, them old Brazilians, because they made them old Brazilians rich, bro. You guys don't understand how rich them old Brazilians are. All these guys that run these big associations and these big teams, they made a lot of money, bro. They good. They living good, bro. They made a killing, bro. There is something else I want to see. We've been talking about what have we been talking about? Racist people and judo. Ariel Hawani and Bob. Let's see if I can find this. Shintaro had that. Let me stop talking about him. Dorothy Slipper says Keenan shouldn't have disappeared on us, and then he would have American Jiu-Jitsu. You know, Keenan got burned out, man. He just got really burned out. Hopefully I can play this without getting some copyright. He just got burned out, bro. He did a lot. You know, fighting Leandro Lo took a lot out of him. And then I guess his last match was like, well, he had some other matches, but the last competitive match was against Nicholas Margali. He beat Margali. Keenan was good, man. I don't think his heart's in it anymore. You know, people get jaded in this sport at a certain point, especially when you're a competitor. You've been getting screwed over. Actually, you know what? He had a match against Patrick Gaudio. I guess he lost that match. You know. Says Andre Galvao and Leo Vieta are both millionaires. They paid, bro, all them guys millionaires. Mendez brothers, Carlos Gracie, Marcelo, all these guys got millions of dollars. Now, do their students have that much money? Probably not, because you know Brazilians don't really take care of their people. Yeah, all them guys made. I'm not sure if they're millionaires. They made millions. I don't know if they kept the millions. You know. Andre Galvao got a nice school in San Diego. Leo Vieta got a nice school. Was it Huntington Beach or something? I don't know where his school is. Somewhere really nice. Yeah, if any of those Brazilians are in California or New York, they made some money, man. They good. Don't worry about them. Marcelo is rich. Yeah. Why wouldn't he be rich? He taught in New York for how many years? Over a decade. How much do you think Marcelo was making at MGA? Okay, now you take that. Now remember MGA in action. How many people do you think were subscribed to MGA in action? How many people do you think were? Yeah, that was the first online platform for jiu-jitsu. How many people do you think were subscribed to that? Dorothy Slipper says, "You seen how bad Keenan destroyed your boy UFC legend Muhammad Ali? Did he beat Muhammad Ali? Yeah, I don't remember that one. It's been a while. You guys know I did videos on all these people, right? Let's see if I can play this without getting a copyright strike. what I'm gonna do is I don't know if I can play this.
Ariel Helwani for
LL Snap says, I've been jaded since I joined the sport. Tony is the only reason I showed up to jiu-jitsu in the first place, so y'all can blame Tony for everything I unleashed on the community. Thanks, Tony. Jason says, we already have American Jiu-Jitsu. It's called Echo, you communists. Nah, we don't claim them. He says, I'm broke, working through lunch break, listening to live stream. Life is good. Hey, listen, all you got to do is create a course just like Moneyberg. You make some money. Let's see if I can get through this without getting copyright strike, everybody.
fanhouse.com at Yankee Stadium for the Manny Pacquiao-Miguel Cotto press conference, and we're being joined by Top Rank's Bob Arum. And Bob, this is a very exciting event for New Yorkers.
What I'm
have a press
What I'm
conference.
gonna do is go to Big Alec mode. There you go. Hey, I'm gonna go. Oh, you guys can see. I'm gonna go Big Alec, but I'm gonna keep playing the audio from Ariel Helwani. So you gotta look at my face. Sorry, everybody. Let me pause. It says, how come you can make videos on Keenan changing the sport without copyright strikes, but can't do it on stream? Different rules. Well, every different piece of content has different rules with it. So, if I'm taking something from Flow Grappling, that might be okay. But if I'm taking something from Ariel Helwani or Polaris or UFC, they got different rules. They have different things. Some people let you use their content. Some people don't care. Some people are going to nuke you from outer space. So that's why there's different copyright things. The music's all copyrighted. That's why if we're listening to a song, I'm like, I got to pause or got to, pause it or mute it or something. So yeah, that is YouTube. You got to deal with all this crap. LL Snap says, get a sugar mama. Who says I don't? I might need some more. If you guys know any, I need more sugar mamas. It's a joke, everybody. It's a joke. LL Snap says, I need to make my own course, destroying the Cuban wrestling program. There you go, Cuban. Well, I think Chamizo already beat you to that. You can put a course out, do something, sugar mama course, whatever you want to do. That might actually sell well. Jason Whitfield says, LL Snap putting out his secrets. Sounds great. Is there a website where I can visit or what? Also, guys, remember LL Snap is not built like a regular human being. That might play some part in that too. Mushmaster. He didn't like Mayweather. I'm trying to avoid Mushmaster. I'm trying to avoid copyright, so I'm listening to the audio. You can't hear the video. Oh shoot, my bad. You guys can hear the audio? Oh, my bad. You know what? You can't hear the audio. You guys just been listening to me watching the video. I'm sorry. Let me do it. Let me do it like this. You guys, why did you guys say something? I've been listening for 3 minutes. You guys have been listening to me drink tea? Are you telling me I don't have to do anything? I just gotta drink tea on the computer. Let me add that. I thought I had that on here. Ooh, I can do audio too. Let's see. 1 second. Okay, let me cancel that. Mess that up. Why did you guys say something? I'm over here listening. You guys like, I can't hear nothing. Let's see if that work. Will that work? And I'll mute that. Oh, was it not playing? Let me see. Can you guys? I don't think it's working either. What if I do this?
To watch it on pay-per-view, I can see they would
You guys
have
listen to me drink tea this whole time?
Now, when he did big numbers when he fought Oscar, but it was Oscar, and he conned the people. I'm going to go out, and I'm going to knock him out. People know Mayweather now. They know the son of a gun doesn't fight. He's fights scared. Now, that's okay. I don't want to demean it. If this was like a pitcher, who had a great curveball and struck everybody out so there was no action, it would be great.
Can you guys
but
hear
he's
it
a boxer, and he has to entertain.
Yeah, you can't hear it. God dang it. This thing sucks.
In the ring, he's not an entertaining fighter.
So do you think that fight will bomb on pay-per-view?
I'm going to make it really small.
I have no idea how the fight is going to do on pay-per-view.
It's blocking my face.
I have no idea
whether
the UFC fight that Dana's putting on will hurt it. For me, I look at the UFC audience and the boxing audience as being two different audiences entirely. Our audience in boxing is ethnic, Hispanic, Filipino, Puerto Rican, Mexican,
okay, that's cool.
And the hardcore boxing fan who can't watch, like me, can't watch UFC. UFC are a bunch of skinhead white guys watching people in the ring who are also look like skinhead white guys.
Well, I take offense to that just for someone who covers the sport. I'm not a skinhead. I'm actually a Jew. I'm not a white, I'm not white guy, so nothing like that.
We don't care.
And you don't have any tattoos.
No tattoos, and a lot of people I know in MMA don't have tattoos as well.
90% of the people in the audience wear tattoos. I don't care. That's up to them. But those aren't people that would have any interest at any time in boxing. They wouldn't. The only guy they might want to see is Kelly Pavlik.
I think we disagree on that. Let's quickly switch gears here for a second.
I think he was
Are you
right.
concerned at all with, and do you think, smiling, right? I don't know if you're smiling at him, but.
Let's listen to that one more time. That was good. That was perfect. That was perfect. You guys listen to me drink tea? Didn't say nothing. LOL Snaps, the Sugar Mama course coming to you guys soon. All right, Mushmaster, you're going to have to get that Sugar Mama course from LOL Snap. He says, I will throw in how to get tax money from women with kids. All right, we might need to use that. Jason Whitfield says, okay, then Alec, can I use LOL Snap's headshot and credentials to make the Sugar Mama? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, we've got the audio. Okay, ASMR was going. He said, I know what you were doing. He said, this guy is racist. Which guy? The guy that said the UFC was racist? Dorothy Slipper says he just said the only people who watch boxing are Latino. He said he said Filipinos and Latinos. That's the difference there. We're gonna listen to that one more time. Jason Whitfield says, you know the skit, more cowboy from SNL. We have a fever, and the cure is Alex sipping on his tea. I need more sipping, Alec. Can you turn the mic up? Let's listen to that one more time, because that's pissing off some people.
Can't watch UFC. UFC are a bunch of skinhead white guys watching people in the ring who also look like skinhead white guys.
Well, I take offense to that just for someone who covers the sport. I'm not a skinhead. I'm actually a Jew. I'm not a white.
Let me not nitpick. Can I move back to my? You know, that hit. That was good. That was good. We learned something right there. Yellowstone says, man, this dude just called me a skinhead. Rolling around like, oh, who said that? I don't remember that part. Did he say that? I can't read that part. That was pretty funny. I'm glad we found that. I'm glad we found that. Filipinos or Latinos? Some of them. Not most of them, though. Look at this kid, bro. What the heck is going on over here in this sport? Is this LOL Snap's son? LOL Snap Jr.?
Um, dois, três.
LOL Snap, that's your son.
Vamos.
Your Brazilian son.
5, 6, 7. Vamos.
He said skinhead racist, guys.
Bora, bora. Last one.
That's more weight than I can pick up. LOL Snap said that's easy. Back in Cuba. LOL Snap said back in Cuba he could lift that when he was 3 years old. He said skinhead racist. Are you a skinhead and are you racist? Okay, that didn't apply to you. LOL Snap says you got to give this guy a pass. You know this guy used to say the ER word back. Well, that's what they all used to say that back then. They were saying that till the 60s, 70s. they might have been saying that up until the 80s. The 80s they were saying that. They still saying that when I'm not around. Jason Whitfield says that would be a good OF stream. ASMR Alex sipping on tea. I feel I would fall asleep to that sound. I got a fever, Alec. Give me the cure. This is a LOL Snap Jr. So everybody clapping their hand. I'm like, well, you know, where's USADA at? I'm not sure if you should be lifting that much weight at 14 though, or 13, 14. I could be wrong. You see the usual suspects over there clapping their hands. You know, they don't care. This is LOL Snap Jr. right here. That's your son, LOL Snap. Dorothy Slipper says, this guy's shirt left as soon as it saw the size of the dumbbells. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Man. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say no more. What is this? It says Georgia Wrestling Camp. Not Georgia the state, but Georgia the country.
I visited Georgia for a wrestling camp, left with an injured shoulder, sore legs, and a bit of a hangover. So pretty much perfect. In Georgia, wrestling isn't a hobby. It's DNA. People in Georgia wrestle before they can read, before they can even walk straight. 2 sessions a day, legs were gone by the second sunrise already. The room smelled like sweat, liniment, and old dreams. People flew in from every corner of the planet for Georgie's camp. A man who can host training camps and make you laugh like it's a competitive sport. The food? Heavy and honest. The wine? The best I've ever had. When we weren't suffering on the mats, we were exploring. Bathhouse, nightlife, monuments, ancient border walls to keep out Dagestani raiders, holy springs, and figs stolen from roadside trees. Georgia is stoic, like an old man who won't smile, but when it opens up,
might need to go to Georgia, man. Might be good. Yeah, that kid was 14 or 13. He might be 13. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on in this sport, bro. I'm I ain't really defending the sport too much. International styles, Japan.
Are literally the fastest in the world. They're gonna shoot a lot of low singles, a lot of misdirections. They got the best re-attacks in the world. They're gonna chase that corner, get that reshot, and they do not make mistakes. Japanese wrestlers are literally the fastest in the world. They're gonna shoot a lot of low singles, a lot of misdirections. They got the best re-attacks in the world. They're gonna chase that corner, get that reshot, and they do not make mistakes.
I mean, if you're fighting a Japanese wrestler, come on, you know that low single coming, bro. I mean, it's always there. Dorothy Slipper says, LO Snap says, I would go back to Cuba, but they would keep me there. They could lock you up, keep you in the put you in the real dungeon. You think you in the dungeon now? They're gonna put you. So they probably kill you. Oh yeah, probably. Dorothy Slippers, they ain't gonna let you out again. How'd you get out the first time, LL Snap? You swam over to America? You swam to Miami? It was some light cardio for you. Dorothy Slipper says, this might all be true, but there's no way the best wine this guy has ever had is from Georgia. Well, you know, they got the real. Was he from America? Where was he from? Depending on where you're from, you might not have had some real wine. Let me go back over here. I don't care about this one. Somebody asks, when does my body stop hurting? And I'm probably never. I've been grappling for a year now, and still, after pretty much every training session, something in my body seriously hurts. It's not that I don't tap the submissions. It just always happens that at least once my body gets moved in a way it seemingly isn't supposed to. On Monday, it was the muscles on the right side of my stomach. Today, it was something in my upper back. And don't even get me started with the neck. Oh my God, my neck always hurts. It's never a crank or something. I just roll the wrong way, seemingly, or shaking my head random, and things just. You need to go back to fundamental class. You got to prepare your body for the sport of jiu-jitsu. By warming up, you got to do the warm-up drills. You got to build your body up. You know what's happening nowadays? Most of the gyms don't have warm-ups, and the students are going in with more technical knowledge, but their body's not prepared for the sport. So I mean, that's the answer, man. You need to get back in fundamentals class. You don't need to be rolling. You need to build your body, build yourself up if you can. Hello Snap says, I told you they killed. Oh, I didn't know that. What do you mean you played the country? You fled the country? Oh, wow. That's why you left? Why did they get your dad, bro? Hello Snap says, I drank port wine. Why did they get your pops, man? Dorothy Slipper says, your body stops hurting when you start using lube. Okay. And you know what? Your body's going to continue hurting for the rest of your life. That's just the way it is. There ain't nothing really to say about this, man. It ain't nothing to say. You're going to always hurt. Life is hurting. Life going to make your body hurt. Since we got LOL Snapped on here, it says, when women who won the first ADCC trials, European trials, are not invited to the championship, petition to change this. So if you guys don't know, same thing in America. During the trials, usually there's 2 trials per continent, right? Or area, location. So usually the first trial, they have a tournament for the girls, but only the girls that win the second trial get the invite to the tournament. So they should probably change this and make sure they pay the same amount. Says, if I were a man, I would be going to ADCC Worlds right now. I won the first European trials on the 6th of September, a couple weeks ago, a couple days ago, actually. But because I'm a woman, the first trials don't count for me. That means I won't be going to ADCC Worlds. Women only get 1 chance to qualify in early 2026. Men get 2. And while men have 5 weight classes, women only have 3. They just added that second weight class. This is not fair. To qualify for ADCC Worlds, athletes must first win regional trials. Men get 2 trials per region across 5 weight classes. Women get only 1 trial across 3 weight classes. This disparity is a clear example of inequality. Women in BJJ train and compete just as hard as men, but we are not given the same fair chance to earn our place on the world stage. This unfair system not only harms individual careers, it limits the visibility, growth, and professionalism, we got that in our sport, of BJJ as a sport. It also undermines ADCC as an organization by preventing the best talent from being showcased on the biggest stage. Some argue that there aren't enough women at this level, or that women's matches don't attract the same audience. This is simply not true. The growth of women's divisions across IBJJF, One Championship, CJI, and UFC shows that fans are eager to watch world-class female athletes. We want to see the athletes, the best athletes. Representation creates interest. When women are given platforms, viewership grows. Role models are created, and the sport as a whole benefits. By holding women back, ADCC isn't reflecting demand, it's suppressing it. Equal opportunity is crucial for a fair and thriving sport. I agree. LL Snap says, my dad wanted to pull my brother out of the wrestling program because Pedro died, RIP Pedro, and all they did was throw his body in the corner. My brother went back home and told my dad what happened. We got to visit the house once every 3 weeks. When we went home, my dad tried to keep us. They came and got us. They shot my dad. Oh, no. Oh, no, man. I'm sorry, bro. That's terrible. Woo. That's some serious. Ooh, that's serious. Oh, no. He says, the next thing you know, my mom said we had to run, and we made it to America. LL Snap says, I still have the Tweety Bird shirt covered. Oh no. So I can remember why I do what I do. He says, how many women are competing compared? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry to hear that. And you know what? The people that go through the most be the strongest people. You know, Dan Gable, you know, people that go through, I'm not saying it's a good thing to go through that stuff. I'm sorry to hear that, man. LL Snap made us sad, man. How many women are competing compared to men? Well, it's growing. That's the argument. It's growing. How can it be equal? Well, the girls, let's make it equal, bro. Let's make it equal. That's what I'm saying. Why argue? Why argue? Just make it equal. And you know, the women's division is growing, and they should have the ability to qualify. If the guys can qualify in 2 tournaments, the girls should be able to qualify in 2 tournaments. Seems simple enough to me. Make it even. Well, you know what, you need to argue why it should be unequal. Then I'm saying make it equal. Easy peasy. There we go. No more thought process. And you know what? What happens if the girls overtake the guys? What happens if there's more girls that start, you know, competing in the sport, supporting the sport than the guys? And, all right, guys, you go on to one qualifier. Jason Whitfield says, "Do the women know there's not as much talent there? That's why there's not as many weight classes." I don't like that argument, Jason Whitfield. It should be equal. They're getting better, but still not the same. Well, give them the opportunity to be the same. They just got 3 weight classes. Let them have another qualifier. Simple enough. Why argue? ADCC does it to make the matches more competitive. The girls' matches are competitive. You don't have to worry about the girl matches. I never saw a boring girls match unless it was the bigger girls. I don't want to hear that after the run that Adele had last ADCC. Let the girls fight. I want to see more girls out there. Dorothy Slipper says, I find jiu-jitsu has the most people earnestly interested in the women's division of any sport. Yeah, let the girls have it, man. Why are you guys arguing? I say let the girls be equal. Let them have 2 qualifiers just like everybody else. Well, they already had the tournament. What's the difference? They already doing the tournament. They already competing in the tournament. Let them go to ADCC. That's all I'm saying. And let them get paid the same. That's all I'm saying. There ain't no issues there. And Lola Staff says, no reason to be mad. My dad lives on through me every time I touch jiu-jitsu. He says, my fighting Jiu-jitsu, man. Yeah, every time we do jiu-jitsu, fighting ring, or wrestling, man, I carry my dad's spirit with me. That's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. And you know what? Your daughter gonna carry that spirit, so that's all we can hope for. So give the girls the same amount, man. I'm all for it. Them girls good. They deserve to get paid. They deserve to go to ADCC. They deserve all the same opportunities as the guys. Simple. You can say there's not enough girls, but then next year it might be equal next year. We don't know. Why limit the growth of the women's division? It says if winning it doesn't qualify you, how is it even a trials tournament? This is the ADCC open mat at this point, or open at this point. Yeah, just let them go. It says because the women's are only 8-person brackets, the USA only gives them 1 trials to qualify for the women. If there's 6 trials across the world, you can just make the tournament bigger. Listen. It don't cost more money. It does cost a little bit more money to have add a 16-person bracket. Why can't the girls do that then? Yeah, throw more girls in there. Yeah, just open it up. Who cares? Why it got to be limited to 8 people? Jason Whitfield says, LL Snap says, my coach and Tony, he's one of my coaches as well. He wants me to sell my life story. Yeah, that might be good. Jason Whitfield says, what do you mean? What happens if the girls take over the guys? There's no ovens on the mat for cooking. Well, Jason Whitfield about to get in trouble too. LL Snap says, just pay the women, give them a chance. If they fail, yeah, let them try. Give them a chance. I keep hearing, there's not enough girls. We can't pay them the same. Give it try it out. You might have the most successful ADCC. That kind of thinking is what probably held people back. Yeah, let them try, man. The girls are good. You ain't got to worry about the girls putting on a good show. They're gonna go out there, and you know what? Afterwards, they be shaking hands. They got better sportsmanship than the guys, and they fight harder than the guys. They be out there getting their limbs broken. I ain't never seen no guy get, well, maybe 1 or 2 guys, but the girls be getting broken left and right. Yeah, don't do any invites. I don't want to see any invites. Get rid of the invites. There's only 4 trials winners. You do South America, North America, European, Asia. There's only 4. It's only 4 girls per weight class, and then the other 4 are invites. Get rid of the invites. There you go. We solved the problem, Jason Whitfield, without being a misogynist. L.O. Stomp says if they paid the women, they will attract more women to the sport, which will grow women's. Yeah. Jason Whitfield says, "Oh, Alec, that last T-sip was a good one." I gotta meet Jason Whitfield too. You know what? I'm throwing Jason Whitfield to LOL Snap first. I'm a scope LOL Snap. Throw Jason Whitfield out there first and see how he does. Don't break him, no LOL Snap. That's it, man. Let the girls have a fair shot, man. They ain't losing no money. Talking about giving the girls a fair shot, we got some big news over here. Some big news. Good news, though. It says Olympic gold medalist Helen Morales, I always say her name wrong. It's okay. Signs with Real American Freestyle Wrestling. So this is kind of last second to sign up for this. Hey, Helen, how you doing? Even LOL Snap would actually LOL Snap. He probably couldn't control himself. LOL Snap says no woman be mad already on their they be ready to fight. they built ready to fight. So we got Helen. She's gonna be doing RAF, which is today. Let's see what time it's gonna be. Olympic gold medalist Helen Marulis. You know, Jason Whitfield be making fun of me how I say stuff. Danny Chopper says, "Bro, I walked in and Snap wild, and yeah, he always wild." She's the latest star to sign with Real American Freestyle. I bet you they paying her good. Marulis is the United States' most successful women's wrestler. Yes, she is actually. She became the first American woman to claim Olympic gold in 2016, and then bronze in Tokyo and Paris. And she's the only American woman with 3 Olympic medals. And she won her 4th world championship and 8th world medal last week. Raf announced this signing on Thursday. She needs a mat. Yeah, well, that mat gonna be dirty fast. That mat, that mat gonna be dirty. Because some of you guys. LOL Snap says she is a solid. Yeah. LOL Snap, you gonna hit everything. I'm happy she won, because what if she didn't win the Worlds? They're like, well, they probably still would have signed her. So they announced that today. I'm so excited to be a part of Real American Freestyle. Raf Maroulis said in a statement, "It's been a dream of mine to have more opportunities to showcase my skills stateside and be able to be part of an amazing production that promotes wrestling and the amazing community we have." Maroulis will debut on Raf 2. Oh no, she's not on this one? Oh, I thought she was gonna be. Is it not this week? It's not coming up. I thought there was a Raf coming up, or it's October. I thought it was today. There's no Raf today. Helen is built ready to fight. I'm built to submit. When and where is Raf on? I thought it was now. I thought it was today. Maybe it's October. She's gonna debut October 25th of October against Samantha Stewart from Canada. Supposed to take place. It's set to take place at Penn State. Oh wow, that's cool. It was originally set to take place at the 6,502 seat Rec Hall in State College, Pennsylvania, Penetration State College, and has been moved to the 15,261 seat Bryce Jordan Center in State College because of high ticket demand. So you see, the girls can sell stuff out, bro. It almost doubled, not doubled. Yeah, definitely over doubled. Was that 200%? LL Snap says, "I would tell this woman, let me." Okay. Is she over there jangling? Says Olympic gold medalist Kyle Snyder, who was scheduled to compete in RAF 2, has a knee injury, so Moldova's Alexander Romanov will take his place against 2024 U.S. Olympian Mason Paris. When is this show? Let me actually look that up. When is RAF? Wrestling? I don't know. Yeah, when is this? Oh, it is October 25th. I thought it was September. It's going to be University Park, PA. Okay. All right, man. I can't go to that. Country ain't going to be here. Oh, shoot. Let me send that to my homeboy. I do like some Country Wayne. I want to see Helen. LOL Snap going to make another kid. You might make an Olympic champion. Cuba might try to steal your kid after that. Oh, my homeboy can't go. He won't be in town. How much are these tickets? $100. $100 for a comedy show? Wait. $100? I don't know about that. That's too much. That's too much money for a comedy. Jason Whitfield says RAF is happening right now on this stream. Real American Freaks. You guys too thirsty, bro. You guys too thirsty out here. I mean, it's a family show. Snyder got hurt. He just won the. I don't know. He did get hurt recently. Or maybe he did get hurt. He just won the Worlds. I thought he was okay. Not that I care about Kyle Snyder. LL Snap says Pork Chop is already a super soldier. Your daughter? You gotta make more, bro. Is she gonna compete for Team USA in the future? LL Snap, he got the super soldier serum in there. Talking about LL Snap, it says, what happened to Cuba? In the 90s and early 2000s, they were a freestyle powerhouse. with a ton of stars, winning world and Olympic hardware over and over. Well, all the Cubans got out of there. Recently, they've been on a massive downsizing. No medalists or even any placers in the men's freestyle at Worlds this year. So it says, just guessing, but maybe due to losing Russian funding and support. A great many things have gotten worse in Cuba. It's hard to fund wrestling when the national power grid keeps going down. Pretty sure their Russian funding ended in 1991, but they did okay for some time after that. I like the way Russia did it. Is a default explanation for various trends in international wrestling around here. Best Korea or North Korea? South Korea? Which Korea are they talking about? The best Korea. Best Korea? Which Korea? Best Korea had a good tournament. It must be North Korea. North Korea had a good tournament. That's true. Must have been training in Russia. Cuba not doing so well. Must not have been training in Russia anymore. Jason Whitfield says, LL Snap, does your daughter have dual citizenship with Cuba? If so, she can try for both schools. I don't think. Yeah, she American now. All right, she American. They all ran away. Oh. Yeah, my boy Chamizo got out of there. Romero. The only person there is what's the big guy? What's the big I guess he too big to get away. The big Greco wrestler. The big Greco-Roman wrestler. He too big. They would know he was gone. He would get hungry before he got away. Let's see. Taking credit from our glorious nation. Says, do you have an alternate theory besides their horrible economic crisis? Cuba always seems to be in a horrible economic crisis. Cuba and North Korea were heavily supported by the USSR. After it disappeared in the 90s, they had extremely terrible economic crisis, much worse than today. But both were doing pretty good in wrestling at the time. Also, the Olympics was just last year, and Cuba won 5 medals, which seems pretty decent. None were in freestyle, though. I have no idea why only their freestyle team alone has fallen off lately, but I doubt lack of money has to do with it, because they've never had money, and they are still winning medals in Greco and women. LL Snap says, we have citizenship for America and the Bahamas. My daughter can't go to Cuba. Cuba is a quite serious economic crisis. Late 2024, they had a 72-hour power outage, and there were media reports about many people having problems getting enough food. Their wrestling program was never well funded, but made a lot out of little budget they had. Those circumstances now were probably a blow too much for Cuban wrestling. Less funding, athletes who have to check how they can provide for their families, and probably significantly less trust in the state. Says their guys moved to America. Says more true than people would like to believe. It is very common for a Cuban wrestler to medal, then their next tournament in the U.S. seek asylum. I know of world medalist wrestlers waiting tables in Miami. Says lots of them on JUCO teams. A lot of Cuban coaches, plus what you added, it's more than people realize. They lost their biggest trading partner. They regularly had cadet and junior age competitors running away during international tournaments and defecting to other nations in the last decade or so, added to the kids who immigrate or transfer out through legit channels, and their stable has been pretty gutted. It's not hard to look around and find quality Cubans. Chamizo, Ekimida, I can't say that last name. I'm sorry, bro. I messed that up. Bastida, Ekmindia. I can't say that one. Some other people will be hitting the senior level soon. They just don't compete for Cuba anymore. LL Snap says the problem is they stopped sending us to Russia because everyone ran away once we got to Russia. You saw them snow bunnies out there. You ran away. Uh-oh. What is that over there? He just run off. It says insert everything that has happened to Cuba geopolitically here. I mean, they do have the greatest heavyweight Greco wrestler of all time who won gold at Paris for the 5th time. Speaking to the coaches and athletes that compete the past couple years, for them, they don't receive much support, if any, from the government to pay to go to competitions. They still have their guys. They're still good at wrestling. They just don't go to competitions or send very few. 2 or 3 years ago, I had a chance to train with their men's team for a couple weeks. Almost all of them were mid to late 30s. On top of what I and everyone else have said, I think they aren't having great success investing in younger athletes at the moment. I'm just assuming that based off of how old all of them were. I doubt it's due to their coaches who are pretty much the same. It's probably just the government not giving them the resources. Hello Snap says, trust me, funding is not a problem. Oh, wow. Embargoes, the stupid embargo that is affecting their economy, which leads to all around hardships. USA is friends with Germany, Japan, and Russia, but still holds a grudge against Cuba. They're actively frozen out by America. Still doing fine with Greco, but yeah, I agree. It's been a minute. Okay, yeah. Wow. A lot of stuff going on in the world, man. We got Yoshiro Maruyama, the greatest of his generation. I guess he's retiring. He retired nearly a year ago. Please don't promote Chatty's garbage. Let's see what he got to say first. Chatty, I didn't know that about Chatty. Chatty, whatever his name is.
One card, 2 ways to pay.
Get this goddamn commercial off here.
Debit or pay later.
Happening?
Sign up with Klarna.
Oh my
no credit impact to apply.
I paid. So hey, how about you? You want commercials? I paid so I don't have to listen to these goddamn commercials. It's not helping though. LOL Snap says it was easier to escape. It wasn't 24-hour lockdown like in Cuba. In Cuba and Russia, you're saying? Oh, in Russia was able to escape. You were able to escape. In Cuba, everywhere you go, you have people watching you, even in the bathroom. Jason Whitfield says, to say I would rather move to communist Russia over communist Cuba says a lot. Please let me click on the video. No, stop making me watch commercials. I'm trying to click on the video. Where the heck is the... Let me... Can I not open it? Oh my God. There we go. Whew. Man, they're trying to force me to watch these commercials, bro. We don't got time to watch commercials. I don't even have a commercial. I used to have commercials on here. Does anybody remember when I had commercials on here? Where's Inverted Gary? They said I didn't do enough for them. Well, I definitely didn't go to PA. What happened with Chadi? He just not legit. That's all. You guys love your influencers, right? And they don't be training. They don't know. He probably can't even do a throw. It says, Unilis Guzman is a great wrestler when she's winning. I can't say her last name. I can't say none of her name. When she is winning medals with that wrestling infrastructure she's showing on Insta. Who's that? Elostat says, you think I'm joking? You go to a bunch of gyms in Houston. All you see are old Cubans, Olympians from Cuba. Wow. Mushmatcher says, I recommend watching Maruyama versus Abe Hifumi's match for the Olympic spot in Tokyo. We might check that out. Let me see what Chadi's got to say, then we'll see if I can find that video.
Hi, this is Shadi. Today, Yoshiro Maruyama announced his retirement. I was kind of hoping for a third world title, but we all kind of saw it coming. I don't usually do these types of videos, but he is a judoka that is very close to my heart. I remember seeing him back in 2016 in Almaty, and even before starting YouTube and everything, I was just mesmerized by his judo. And
you, bro.
I'm presenting this video as a tribute. I can say that a lot of my judo I tried to shape after him, but obviously genetics and experience will play a role in not letting you do that. But you can only be ambitious and keep trying, because this is what judo is.
I don't want to hear
Keep
Chatty.
trying,
Get out of here, bro.
Trying for better technique.
That's like me listening to a blue belt talk about jiu-jitsu. I don't want to listen to a blue belt. Maruyama versus Abe. Let's see if we can find that. Hopefully we don't get hit with copyright. Good old copyright, bro. I think if I stream on Twitch, I used to stream on there. I might need to start bringing that back. Let me get my YouTube up to 1,000, and then maybe I'll go to Twitch too. What year was it? He says, I like his research, but Chadi, whatever his name is unlikable. He hates jiu-jitsu too much. Illo Snap says, my plan was to go to Olympics, and as soon as I got here to America, I was going to run. Which Olympics? 96? Actually, no, you would have been too young in 96. You my age. Which Olympics were you trying to go to? Russian Olympics? Was that 22? That wasn't 2012. What year was that? 2008? I forget what year it was. Dorothy Slipper says, use Nelly's Guzman is the Pan Am gold medalist from Cuba at the ladies 50 kg. Okay. LL Snap says, but back in the day when I was there, if you wanted your kid good at wrestling, you send your kids to Cuba and forget about him. You don't even have a kid no more. That kid's gone. Mushmaster, which one is it? Olympic spot. Okay. Oh, they got all the matches. Should we just watch this and pray we don't get hit with a copyright strike? All right, if I get hit with a copyright strike, I'm blaming Mushmaster. That's on him. Let me take the music out. Sorry, let me take the music out. Let me take the music out. Jason Whitfield says, can we just do a stream of Alex just sipping tea and watching Helen wrestle? No. I like to do that in private. I'm not going to do that with you guys watching me, watching her. And you guys know Mushmaster said he's going to slide in her DMs. He said he's going to do that. He says, look up Olympic trials maybe. I think we're good. We just watch this. Hopefully, no copyright. No audio either. We're just going to listen to me sip the tea. That is technical. Wow. That was nice. They've been fighting since 2017. Look at that exchange. That was a nice exchange. Is that an Ippon? You got to scroll down. Well, this is all the fights, I think. You know what? The Japanese don't really be doing the Newaza, though. The Japanese hate Newaza, huh? They just don't like that Newaza. Hey, almost. That would be cool to have that level of judo. But I guess your groundwork would be pretty bad. Look how he's blocking the... Hey, that's pretty cool. You guys know I like the nice. I like the there's this stocky judoka, 2008. Was that in Russia? I like the stocky. There's a stocky judoka that looks like me. Not he doesn't look like me, but built like me. Let's see if we can. Did the music go? Hey, oh, that's how you break your arm. Can't play that. Whew, judo, bro. Judo, wild, bro. Hello, Snap says, all the people that are there now I grew up with. What do you mean? There where? What do you mean, LL Snap? I don't understand. Hey, this is going to be Mushmaster in a couple. When's your next tournament, man? When's the next comp? Judo comp. Danny Choppa says that the Asian dude I went against in the judo tournament did a straight up war shout in the beginning of our match. It threw me off a little bit. That's why he did it. But I still engaged. I did win that match, though. Okay, cool. It's pretty awesome, man. I do like judo. I wish it was more popular in America, but I can't help the judo community. They can't help themselves. Now, I do like myself a good leg grab, though. I do like a good leg grab. I would have been grabbing them legs. The thing is, I feel like you need the leg grabs. You grab the leg there, but that's Newaza. Because it takes away from your martial art, right? If you can't grab the legs. Oy. I understand they want to see the throws. I know. Judo people be going for stuff. It don't even be close. They just going for it. Hey, oh. Their reaction time is really fast, though. LO Snap says, Mushmaster sliding her in her DMs and tell her I'm trying to see what that bat looked like. If you ask her if she trying to see what the bat looks like, I better stop. I better stop. Helen been around the block a little bit. She's probably seen some stuff. I don't know if she'll be impressed. I'm sorry. I don't know if she'll be impressed with whatever we got. LOL Snap said I could change her. Nice. That was nice. Duck underpass there. Now, if we had this in America, we would love some judo. Judo got everything we don't got. It's got real sponsors, Adidas, real organization, real federation, real curriculum, Olympics. It's in the Olympics. It's got everything we don't got. Yeah, it got everything we don't got. Mushmaster sliding in the DMs right now. As we speak, he typing out his messages to her. It's pretty good. That's pretty amazing, though. Yeah, I do want to learn some judo. I'm not gonna lie. That was nice. We just can't. There's no place to learn it. It's not like convenient. Like jiu-jitsu, there's jiu-jitsu everywhere. You throw a rock, you find a jiu-jitsu school. Now you gotta drive across the town, across the state to find a good judo place, if you're lucky to have one. Okay, that was cool. Let me see if we can watch that. You said Olympics? Olympic team. Olympic trials. Hopefully we can play the Cuba. All the people in Cuba. All the people are there now I grew up with. In Cuba? Oh, well, Cuba. She been to Cuba. I think she been to Cuba. I think she been to, I think she definitely trained with Chimizo before. Where's the Olympic I can't find the video. Is this the one? Mushmaster? He gone. I don't know where it is. It says Olympic. Japanese Federation has the best rules now in judo. Well, they added leg grabs, right? Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see the Olympic trials. He said scroll down. Danny Chop says, I believe Coast and judo rules allow for leg grabs. I'd have to check it out. I don't know. Let me skip it then. I can't find it. Got Mr. Joseph Chin, or somebody breaking him down. His technique down.
Stack up the money, let the blessings multiply. Grind every day, we don't ever waste time. Vision in my heart, greatness stay on my mind. Tears in my eyes.
Can't play that song. LOL says the Federation is corrupt. The Judo Federation? Oh yeah, for sure. Everybody's corrupt. IBJF. Nice over-under kind of setup. You know what? Just play the video, man. I'm not going to sit through this. Got Adesanya over here.
Here in New Zealand, I didn't see a lot of other cultures. Saw Pākehā and Māori where I was growing up down in Taranaki there.
Oh, nice.
And we didn't see a lot of other cultures. And then later in life, I started to see more and more and more, and I just became really interested.
Nice.
I love other cultures, and I think New Zealand is at its best when we are letting all cultures in this country express themselves and hold their ground.
Yeah.
So when I first saw you come onto the scene, obviously I love the way that you fought, but I love the way that you talked.
Thank you.
And I love the way that you represent a smaller culture within New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. And New Zealand as well.
And New Zealand as well.
Wow.
And that's it. I like the way that you help a culture hold its ground, but you let New Zealand hold its ground as well.
Yes,
and I think everybody can learn from that. Amen. So, I mean,
Paddy for president, or prime minister. Paddy for prime minister.
I'd
vote for you.
Of Nigeria, as well.
You know what? Actually, you do better. You might do a better job. There's a lot of corruption over there, right there.
When I grew up here in New Zealand, I didn't see a lot of other cultures.
Japanese, I missed it. 66 qualification. I was trying to get you, Mushmaster. I was like, yo, he was hurt. Hopefully he bounced back, man. Hello, Snaps. Come to Houston. We got judo all over the place. Got the whatever kind of Cuban you want. You want wrestling Cubans. You want judo Cubans. They got everything. Jiu-jitsu Cubans. Hello, Snaps says these judo people are too serious.
Loves that arm drag. You're a Lenkar on the bottom here in the blue. What is your strategy now with this fast pace of the youngster?
And that's a nasty bite right there. That's across the jaw. She's got a bit of a jaw crusher right there.
Heavy hands. Pushing in until she gets her to egg my house because she's going to listen to this later. And again, there's a beautiful physical. Let the ref do his job if he's going to do his job. But as competitors, you got to be physical.
Yep.
Dang, that was nice.
Beautiful pass
good.
Right there. And that was smart for Talita to not settle and get still in her prime with, making the top of the
decision. Cassie
got that Tete game. She got the Safada, Kochigari for my judo people. Arm drag. Her passing good. I might need to do a study on her. Respectfully, of course, this is a family show. She got really good passing. She hit the Mayroom. You saw her hit the Mayroom? She hit that Mayroom pass. Kochigari there, boom. Mayroom pass right there, boom. That was nice. All right, I need to study her. Respectfully. Professionally. Danny Chopper says, oh, word. I take it you would have competed, though, if not injured. I only asked because I heard it's one of the bigger judo tourneys. The hell? Oh. All right, guys, we're at 2 hours. We got one more hour on here.
Two guys, they cheating. You know why? He say 94 kilo. He say 92. But I'm sure he's 97. 97. Let's go. Hey, you hold this now. No. You hold it. Don't touch. Why go to chest? 99. Brother, listen. These two guys, they cheating.
That's funny, bro. They cheating. Because, they probably put the people by weight class. So, 92. And them guys, 99. Was that about 10, 12 pound difference or something? I don't know. 16? 99 minus 2, 7, 14 pounds. 15 pounds almost. Yeah, that's a big difference. Danny Chopper says, oh yeah, I decided to compete last minute in Maryland this weekend in Absolute. All right, good luck, man. Stay safe, brother. Stay safe. Talking about the wrestling girls. What's up, girls? Everybody got a birthday. Actually, this girl's a jiu-jitsu girl. Talia Moore. Hey, who's that? I think she's 10 Planet. You got Helen, you got Victoria. You got all the girls that we are big fans of, not friends of. I don't know any of these girls. What up? I think you guys know this girl. She's the one that fought that trans person. You guys remember that? You guys remember this match? Can't play that music. Oof, I don't like that jumping to the back. LL Snap says, I went north and south that one. Yeah. LL Snap got a type. She okay. She like a 10 Planet kind of new breed kind of girl. She ain't really doing the big tournaments though. You put her against Cassia Mora, she gonna get pieced up. Cassia Mora hit you with that safada. Damn, you hit your butt. I don't see the match I'm looking for though. She trained with Gio.
You want to exchange? Yeah, I have it. Alright, you already know the deal. Gold for a Labubu. See what you got. Let's open it up. Okay.
Yo, Gio was acting a fool at CJI. Jason Winfield says, the only culture I'm into right now is Helen culture. They need to change RAF to RAH. Real American Helen. Well, she's Greek, but yeah. I might be for that. I wouldn't miss a show. Danny Chopper says, LOL Snap got a show off the triangle defense to the ladies. Guys, this is a family show. Remember that, please. Family show, everybody. Family show. Well, I got to keep reminding you guys. Be respectful. Hey, hello. I don't trust no-gi girls, though. I don't trust girls that do no-gi. I don't trust... I don't trust girls. I don't trust these no-gi girls. I'm sorry. She did a tryout. Uh-oh. Mushmaster sliding into the DMs again. Mushmaster about to slide into her DMs. What did she say? It says tryout. WW tryouts. Well, I definitely don't trust her now. LOL Snap not allowed to roll with the ladies. He inappropriate. It says, I've always been silent about my next move, and I've come to realize that at times it has come from a place of insecurity. She says, over the last few days of the WWE tryout, this is like a month ago, and simultaneously they've been some of the most rewarding as well. I've always dreamed of being a rock star and putting on a show, but I didn't like singing, so I found that in jiu-jitsu and on the internet. Let me find the emoji I'm looking for right now. Give me 1 second, everybody. Let me find the where's the emoji I'm looking for? There we go. I'm sorry. Don't judge me too harshly, everybody, but what was I saying? That wasn't me on the screen. That's somebody else. That's some other person. That ain't me, though. That's somebody else. Somebody stole my name and posted that. That was not me. She says, but honestly, I wish I could give so much more of myself to you guys. Oh, no. Where's LOL Snapped at? I want to put on a bigger show, and I want that show to be in front of millions, and I hope to do that next in WWE. As much as I love being a creator, athlete, and YouTuber, I feel like it's time to turn it up a notch. I'm so immensely grateful for all the people who have helped me along the way, as well as the staff and the stars at WWE Next and WWE Recruit, who put their all into guiding us through this tryout. All right, Mushmaster going to slide into those DMs. All right, you might see her in WWE. Mushmaster, you think she got a shot there? What do you think? Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't want you guys. See, my messages over there. I got some messages. People be messaging me. I'm like, I hope nobody saw that. We got Margot getting ready for Fionn. Margot just
Josh Fan's gym and try his jiu-jitsu specific strength
She's just
program.
not strong enough.
First, we kick things off with ball chops, full power, building rotational strength. Then came the zerchers, which are essential for jiu-jitsu.
Oh, no.
Split squats were next, bilateral work to isolate each side and build strength evenly. From there, we moved into rotational core activation on the bench. This felt so good and so hard at the same time. After that, we did isometric work, maximizing activation and stability across the chain. The camera didn't actually...
Man, Margot's good, but Margot, listen, Margot just not strong enough to fight Fionn. She's not strong enough. Fionn a judo and jiu-jitsu athlete. She's strong. that stretching, that balance, that ain't gonna help you beat Fionn. Danny Choppa is getting in trouble. He said 2 of my fellow white belts were competing, and I told them I would sign up. Luckily, they don't have to do absolute. Guess I gotta be a good example at some point. He gonna sacrifice himself. Jason Whitfield said he don't trust the no-gi girls either. LOL snaps his OnlyFans. Oh, that's sad. Jason Whitfield gonna jump on that OnlyFans. He in charge of OnlyFans management over here. Danny Choppa, yeah, you need to be timeout, man. Go with Marley. LOL snaps to tell her I have a. You got a page? Oh no. LOL snap, what you got a page for? LOL snap gonna break her back. Once LOL snap get with a girl, you're like, I don't think I want her no more. Once she gets done, you don't want her no more.
And there's a scene in there with him and Emily Blunt, and I think they should both win an Oscar based off this one scene. But the movie is incredible. I'm happy for him. He's finally going to get the credit for his acting skills. Everybody in this movie does a great job. And believe me when I tell you, I'm not here to sell the smashing machine. I tell you straight up, I don't like a lot of the fight movies. This is a great movie. This movie is unbelievable. And there's a scene.
My man pushing that smashing machine. He trying to be, he trying to get cool with The Rock. LOL snap, he doing too much. He got a, I don't want to know. We don't want to know anymore about that LOL snap. Much Master says she's not strong enough to deal with, she's not. Man, Fionn been training judo since she was a kid, bro. She's strong, like, Silent Joker says Moneyberg will probably tap you. Who? Moneyberg ain't tap nobody. The only time Moneyberg can tap you out is if he paid you. When you take that money, he can tap you out. But I ain't been paid, so he ain't tapping me out. She's doing echo lifting. Yeah, that don't look like you're gonna help at all. That ain't gonna help one bit. Margot, you need to hit the gym. I'm gonna be honest. She got to get stronger if she can. But that might affect her game. That's the issue. If she gets too strong, that might affect her game. Let me put this over here. We got Jeff Glover. We've been talking about racist people in jiu-jitsu a lot. It says, does Fionn have suspicious strength? She got that I've been doing judo for my whole life strength. She got that I've been beating up people. That Fionn ain't ever fought a girl stronger than her. Yeah, if you guys realize that, Adele was okay, but Fionn ain't ever fought a girl that was stronger. Like, Fionn strong, bro. If you've been doing judo your whole life, you know how strong you're gonna be? Man, that girl's strong, bro. I mean, she be doing, when she was with Gabriel Souza, she was lifting more weight than him. We got Mikey be taking pictures with all the wrong people. I'm not saying Joseph Chin. I'm saying Jeff Glover. Mikey says, awesome training today with the legend Jeff Glover. Grew up watching him compete. He was a good competitor and always been such a fan. I don't think me and Mushmaster would be invited over there. not with Jeff Glover and not with Mikey. I'm trying to be nice to Mikey. I'm sorry though. Talking about Jeff Glover. Jeff Glover addresses Reddit threads about him. Says, to everyone on Reddit talking about my horrible behavior and work ethics, you are all correct. I've been awful and said some awful things. He said a lot of racist stuff. I agree with all the stuff these people wrote about me. And I'd like to say sorry about that. I've represented Frangia, Paragon, in a way he does not deserve. He trained me to be honest, fair, and honorable. Although I didn't follow his values, I agree I've done some scumbags things and that are unforgivable. If I could go back in time, I would change hundreds of those things. Says, I'm a work in progress even at this old age of 42. I have to ask for forgiveness and understanding from countless people. Let's get her. I don't know if that'll help either. No excuses. I dropped out of high school and became a stoner because I thought it was cool. Dang. Looking back, it's also childish and stupid. I have stopped smoking pot in the last few months. I think he was smoking some other stuff too. Danny Chopper says, Fionn kind of reminds me of a woman I rolled with back then. She was small but strong. I think she powerlifted though instead of judo. Oh God. This is a family show, but we're gonna get into some fiancés that act. Yeah, she's a real athlete. Margot is a creative person. She not really an athletic person. You know, she be dancing and stuff. She not really. Yeah, BJJ has low level athleticism. It depends. You know, you get people like Cassia that's athletic. You get people like Jansen Gomez that's athletic. We got some athletes in the sport for sure, but you don't need to be super athletic to be good in this sport. But we do got some good athletes. It's just not as many. Mikey is a puppy. He's friendly with everybody. Yeah, but you can't be friendly with everybody. You about 30 years old, man. You gotta have some principles or something at this age. God dang. You gotta have. All right, I can't be around that person. Mikey be trying to hang out with everybody. But you know what? That bites him back. Danny Chopper says, as someone who did a white belt judo comp in novice, Mushmaster ain't wrong. Danny Chopper says, I was fighting for my life. LL Stamp says, tell Mikey to come to the dungeon. I will raise his IQ 10% about the time he leaves. You're going to lower it by 10%. You're going to throw, yeah, I don't know if Mikey will roll with you. It says, no excuses. I dropped out of high school, became a stoner because it was cool. I want people to know I never once smoked meth. However, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. I think you were smoking some real stuff, man. That wasn't no pot. That pot didn't have you talking like that, bro. You were smoking something. Something was in that. You had something in there, man. He says, I want people to know I never once smoked meth. Not once, but never once, but multiple times. Yeah, we know that. He says, yes, I made a fool of myself, drunk countless times, and regret it so much. You have no idea. I want the people who on Reddit to know that I hate the things about myself. That I hate things about myself. And I feel deep remorse to all the people I caused to go on there and write about me. I'm honestly not a racist. You know, whenever someone tells me they're not a racist, I'm thinking, why did people think you were a racist? You did something to make people think you were a racist. But it's all cool. You were in a picture with Mikey. You're cool now. However, I've joked about it like it was funny and not a big deal. Well, I don't think the people that thought you were racist thought it was funny. LL Snap says, I'm not an athlete. I'm a science experiment. Yeah. LL Snap. I ain't no athlete. I'm beyond that. You had a level beyond that, bro. And you know what? You can't celebrate when you be beating regular people, bro, with regular testosterone, regular hormones. I ain't got none of that. I'm over here drinking tea. That's all I got. I ain't taking no vitamins. I'm not racist. Everybody says they're not racist. All the racist people say that. I just thought it was funny, and it was not a big deal. I'm disgusted by the fact people are convinced I'm a racist because I said racist stuff. My grandmother was a beautiful Mexican woman. You probably said some racist stuff about her too. And would turn over in her grave to know this is being said about me. You could, man, to my friends that have stuck by me regardless of what I say and do, thank you. I know it's not easy to be my friend. LL Snap says, I never did anything fun. It's cost too much. Yeah, it does cost too much. I heard it cost money. I ain't got that money for people. I can barely afford whatever I'm doing. To my friends that stuck with me, yada yada. Going forward, I will promise the jiu-jitsu world to stop being lazy when I work and stop being such a loser in life. To people who claim to be my fans and students, thank you for giving me opportunities. I have a million more apologies to make, but I don't have the time to write a million sorry notes. If you've been wronged by me and you're reading this, I'm sorry for hurting you and for being such an entitled little prick. All right, that does help a little bit. I know there is a good side to me. All I can do now is try to be the good Jeff Glover that some people think I am and can be. What was he saying? Eddie, Mushmaster says, Eddie Bravo said the same thing when I put his blackface video. Oh, yeah. Oh, can we watch that? We might need to watch that. Did Jeff Glover do blackface? They use the Mexican defense. That don't work. That Mexican defense ain't working with me. This isn't the first time he's been made aware about people calling him out for being racist and sexist. LOL snap, they're gonna come after you next. He says he went full-blown berserk on a couple of women who just made an Instagram post asking dudes to stop being creepy towards women in jiu-jitsu. So what made him finally decide to address all this stuff when he's openly participated in this discourse multiple times? He says he didn't stop. He says in the post he's not racist. He's not acknowledging that he has a racial bias. He's using the excuse that he was just making jokes. And has a Mexican grandmother. Where's the Mexican grandmother at? Well, he said she's gone. We can't verify that. He may genuinely be trying to become a better person, but how he responded to being called a racist really stands out. You need to first acknowledge something is a problem before you can start to address it. He doesn't seem to be doing that. That leads me to suspect that he's trying to protect himself rather than trying to change. That sounds about right. LL Staff says, man, why do people care about getting canceled? I've been canceled my whole life, and look how far I've gotten. Do you think I care? Yeah, you don't care. You for sure don't care. Some of us got consequences and repercussions over here. Someone says, regarding the sincerity, I've read his introspective posts as they happen, and it tracks to me as a man who realizes his mistakes. Yeah, I don't trust the Reddit people. I was drunk. He was on meth. Yeah, whatever, bro. Says, I've hung out with Jeff a few times, and I'll say this. He fell into the same toxic trap that a lot of fringe right-wingers do, and in the process blamed his shortcomings on those around him. That's our sport. I'm glad he's finally found some introspection, because at heart I feel like he's a good person. He just got radicalized and thought that acting like a shitty person would solve his problems. I feel like the weed thing is an excuse. I know plenty of functional stoners that don't act like shitheads, but if he feels it's necessary step, if he feels it's a necessary step to become a better person, then go for it. It says, Jeff has always been my favorite. He's still a racist POS who abused his dog, and if he can't even acknowledge that and is still passing it off as a joke, then he's not taking full responsibility. I don't know what that is. I do want to see that blackface. Sorry, everybody. We got a racist episode today. I'm sorry. Racist episode. Actually, I guess every day could be a racist episode in this sport. This sport. What racism are we going to talk about today, everybody? I want to see that blackface. Like I said, your favorite athletes, we try not to look too deeply into them. L Snap, Danny Choppa says, I don't see it. Where is it? He says, I think it's the fact that people like Glover and many others won't take responsibility and spin the story on their past actions. If they were straight up, people could at least respect it. LL Snap's power level is way over 9,000. Goku would be proud. I'm trying to find it. I don't see it. I guess they took it down. I'm looking for it. I don't see it. What was this? He slipped his meniscus.
White, we would be on the Brazilian side. And if we were training jiu-jitsu and we were white, we would be on the Brazilian side in any MMA fight. Because you find out real quick that style is thicker than blood.
Yeah.
You know, you don't care.
Especially back then.
Yes.
Back then,
nationality. How about when Minotauro beat Bob Sapp? You all right? Your knee go out?
Yes.
Oh, shit. The knee popped out. Ooh. Eddie Bravo has what I believe is probably a bucket-handled tear of his meniscus, and his meniscus will pop out, too. And it locks.
So want to get you some ice, man?
Straighten it out.
Ice ain't going to help.
All right. Let me know if you need anything.
Ice ain't going to help that.
What do? Do you pull on it to get it back? I'm not asking him questions. I'm asking him questions. He's in some fucking.
It didn't go back.
It didn't go back.
It didn't go back.
He's in some pain. Oof.
It's real life, folks.
In February, Eddie is supposed to get knee surgery to fix his knee. You ever have any knee surgeries, Jimmy?
None.
None?
Knock on wood.
Oh, you're lucky.
Very, very lucky.
I had 3.
Hernia surgery is the only surgery I've ever had.
Oh, no shit.
I'm
He had
very,
that.
very lucky. Yeah.
Eddie had that.
Oh, there it goes.
There you go. You back?
They got it
Whoa.
back in there.
So is it pop back in place?
Fuck. Ooh.
That looked really painful.
Yeah.
From where I was sitting.
Good now. It's back.
You good?
It's
All
back.
right.
It's good. It's good. This is like the 7th time it's happened.
You ever seen this
I was
video?
sitting. I had my leg up like this. I fucked up.
Don't do it
Can you
again.
pause this and rewind this back? I want
All that rubber guard, bro. I'm trying to find this blackface. I can't find it. He won't be the first or last person to do blackface. You know, it's just the way it is. That was a prank on friends. Oh. Can we find it? Oh, there you go, right there. There you go. Well, there you go. I still kind of like Eddie Bravo, but that I can't defend that. Did they take it down? Is that the picture? Oh, that does look bad. I can't defend that. That looks pretty bad. That looks terrible. I'm over here. I like Eddie Bravo. Now I'm like, oh, that looks dead. I can't defend that. All right, he did what he did. I ain't defending him. Go ahead and roast him. LL Stats is in Hell in Jiu-Jitsu. Look how they treat Alec. They treat this man like a red-headed stepchild. Most people don't even respect his black belt after watching this man's matches. That ain't true. People respect me somehow. Now, after this live stream, I might lose some respect. I've been losing respect doing this live stream. He says, I'm going to be honest, and this might be a bad take, but you don't get the credit you deserve in jiu-jitsu. One, because you're, yeah, it might be true. Must master too. It's all right, man. Listen, I'm okay. I'm okay. Should I post this on it? I won't post this on Instagram. Certain things from the stream, I'm like, that ain't going on Instagram later. For real. That for real ain't going on Instagram. Where's the video at? I want to see the video. Jason Whitfield says, we're having a racist episode today. It's a nice break from our normal episode of misogyny. Yeah, we got to balance it out. You know, the misogyny with the racism and whatever else we got. Whatever ism, whatever else we got on here. Because of this sport, we had to talk about racism. You know? I'm not trying to cancel anybody, but I want to see what people talking about. Oh, you did blackface? All right, I'm not going to shake your hand next time I see you. I need to know this stuff before I meet people. Had me all up in the picture of Eddie Bravo and Jeff Glover. Imagine I'm all up in the picture of Eddie Bravo and Jeff Glover. I don't know what they did. And then somebody pull up, oh, Alec, didn't you know he did this? Oh, dang, I didn't even know. I got to educate myself when I see these people in real life. Man, that's wild. That's wild, bro. That's our sport, bro. That's our sport. Quad tooth, what does that mean? Yeah, that's our sport, bro. That's the sport we're in, man. That's these guys be making millions of dollars too. They got way more money than me. And that's fine. They can have that money. If they got to do this to make all that money, that's okay. I'm good. All right. Can't defend that. Someone says, this is a false flag. Eddie's been compromised. I stopped following it. This 5 years ago. You know, statute of limitations ran out on this. I stopped following him after he was going on and on about ridiculous COVID conspiracies. His flat earth stuff, I could take with a grain of salt. The COVID denial is dangerous. Yeah, well, I don't even want to start the COVID denial. Woo, where's the video at? I want to find, I guess the video got taken down. Nobody saved the video? I want to see the video, man. They took it down. This is from the Twister. Oh, is that it? Oh, Quad Tooth. That was the name of it. Can we watch this? Get me out. I'm sorry, everybody. This is the racist episode. We got a racist episode today. We do a couple racist episodes, though. We do a couple racist episodes on this channel, so make sure you're liking the video before I get hit with the copyright or nuked by Instagram or nuked by YouTube or whoever. This is an educational show. LL Snap says, I'm in blackface every time I wake up. Same here. I got. What's up with Jeff Glover? He said he's not racist no more. He said he ain't racist no more. You know what? I don't know. All right, we're going to watch the whole video. Let's watch it. Man, we do research on here. We've been looking for it. All right, we're definitely starting this off with this is our racist episode today, everybody. So don't blame me.
Yeah, this is the story of a famous dog. For the dog that chases its tail will be dizzy.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, we're gonna watch it though.
I'm sick and fucking tired of everybody saying I'm trying to be black. I'm fucking sick of it.
Wanna get something to eat from where? She said Denny's, I figure. I said hell no, cause they don't like niggas.
Just cause I feel a little firm in my head, don't mean I'm trying to be black. It brings out the cheekbone. It's for my facial structure. That's all that is.
She passed me the J and the lighter. Me and this hood rat bitch got tighter. Talking all day on the blanket.
Racist episode,
with
yeah.
her ass jacked up, begging me to spank it. Look at
just because I speak fluent Ebonics, which it is an official language, my first language, don't mean a damn thing. Every 9 seconds I say, know what I'm saying. Just to make sure we're all on the same page, they haven't lost you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Got the 7 digits and I'm going. That's the kind of bitch you can call at 2 in the morning.
Just because my stomach growls every time everybody mentions some chitlins and some collard greens, you know, it doesn't make me black. I'm not trying to be black. You know, I do drink Kool-Aid all day and a little Monica all night, you know. I must admit, I'm guilty of that. Till the break of dawn, baby, drinking it up, you know.
I'm a friend to you.
Oh, I got the 40. Man. That's why his meniscus went out on that other video.
Grape soda. What about that? I hate grape soda. Actually, I do go good with some fried chicken, though. It's good with some fried chicken, but otherwise I hate it. Not into it. Know what I'm saying?
Down to get dug, and your man don't know you're getting fucked by thugs. You a woman, that's true, right? Doing what the fuck you wanna do, and it's cool, cause you got...
All I am is a fan of hip-hop. Just a fan. And I get persecuted. Persecuted.
Didn't even have to fuck all night long. Take me home, damn it's on. Jumped out the cover, snatched off the rubber, met the whole smother.
I like rap music, some so-called black food, and I curl my hair. God curl the hair. And I get persecuted. Persecuted.
Let's go to my house and order dominoes, and maybe I can get the bitch out of clothes. Got to the panties, her ass started fighting.
You know that's his goatee, bro. Come on. You know that's the Eddie Bravo goatee.
Just because I got the guts to rob liquor stores doesn't make me black. It does make me courageous, though. I would say courageous. Know what I'm saying?
We sure it's it. Yeah, look at that goatee.
The word is courageous, right? Courageous? That's what I thought. Courageous.
Like like your host from the Valkyrie cups. Nigga don't wanna get rocked like drugs. What's up with these nuts in your meal? Alright, everybody.
That's a great idea. Yeah,
People
thank you,
make
bro.
a big deal about my name change. People change their name all the time and they ain't accused of being shit. I change my name, he's trying to be black. There's nothing black about the name Quartoof. Quartoof is me, it's who I am, it's about what I am. Qua means foe. Tooth comes from the word
Are
tooth.
we sure? Yeah, I think we know it's him.
Foe, tooth, Quartoof. Know what I'm saying? That's me. No one's accusing Michael Jackson of trying to be white. His hair's all straight, nose looking like Pinocchio. Ain't no one said he's trying to be white. What about that?
You the kind of girl to eat a dick up raw and drink a 40 through a straw.
But he do have a good excuse for, his face being white, though. I do understand that. I mean, there's a perfectly good explanation for that. He got that vitiligo, make his skin all white, blotchy, you know what I'm saying? And if you tell why, see, my shit's reversed. I got him vitiligo too, but it's the brown, it's the brown spots I gotta cover. Hence, the dark makeup. That's all that is. I got him vitiligo, man. That's all that is, Look, we got a good look. Ain't nothing but cover up. Just a little cover up, just to even out the skin tone. That's all that is, baby. I'm just me.
You're a woman, that's...
All I'm saying is that I'm not trying to be anyone or anything. It doesn't matter what my hair looks like or my skin. It's what's on the inside that counts.
Last night, you wasn't home and damn, it's 2:30 when the night just deep. She was on GD.
I'm just expressing myself. This is me, this is who I've always been. I've always been this way. I've never changed. This is just me.
That's Eddie Bravo.
What's up, just cute.
All right, is that over? That was actually kind of tough to get through. It's okay to be fans of these guys as athletes. I'm never gonna tell you to not be fans of these guys as athletes. But just take a little deeper look. Shout out to Mushmaster for sharing this with us. I didn't know this. And it's easy for me to be up in the video with a picture of Jeff Glover or Eddie Bravo and not know any of this stuff happened, So it's important that we educate ourselves. I try to educate you guys and educate myself too. He says, does anybody know what this video is for? It says it was for it said it in the beginning. I don't know if you saw that. Super Wigger in Denial. Wow. It was a sketch that got him a job. So he got a job off that video. Please make this an individual video. We might need to do that. What is the thumbnail going to look like? What's the thumbnail? What is the thumbnail going to look like? That's what I'm trying to think about. This sport, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. This live streaming, I want to say it's been hard, but it's been so easy because there's so much drama, currently and in the past, in the future too. So I think I'm gonna be good for a long time. Mushmaster says it was a man show audition co-signed by Rogan. Wow, was that the man show? Was that Jimmy Kimmel and those guys? Was that Adam Carolla? Was that the man show? That show? So he got paid off this crap. Yeah, that's just the way it is, man. I'm not defending it. I'm over here trying not to be offended. Well, you know what? My skin got thicker dealing with LOL Snap and Jason Whitfield. My skin got thicker. My skin got thick. Danny Choppa says, this type of humor was pretty prevalent back then. I don't know about that, especially when you realize the friend group of Bravo is his friend group for sure. Ari Schaffer, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's how it is, man. That's why me and Mushmaster don't be up with everybody like that. Said this originally was an Easter egg on the Twister DVD. Oh, it was on the Twister DVD? He put it on the Twister DVD? So imagine you bought the Twister DVD and then you got to watch this racist crap. Josiah says, how can anyone support EBI after this? Eddie Bravo is a racist. Again, I'm not going to fault the athletes that are in the show. I didn't know this. They don't know that. If you still want to follow Eddie Bravo as an athlete, you love him, go ahead. Bojangles, yeah. If you guys want to follow him as an athlete, okay. I'm not going to make you not follow him. I might still watch some of his techniques, but in the back of my head, I'm thinking, he did that blackface. So just be discerning. I need people to have some discernment in this sport. That is kind of sad, man. That made me a little sad to see. I like Eddie Bravo, the rubber guard. We did an episode on Eddie Bravo where we watched the first EBI series or whatever on Flow. Jeff Glover too. Jeff Glover over there saying he's not racist, and then I'm pretty sure he said a lot of racist stuff. This is the racist episode, so it's just. Did he say? Well, this is for a couple months ago too. Kimmel, the irony, yeah. He over there, yeah. Well, it's different when I guess they took it down. It's different when he says something. They come after him. That's kind of sad though, man. Yeah, I don't even follow what Jeff Glover gonna say. He said, I never took meth once. That's what he said. We got Mr. Drysdale. He going after Moneyberg too. Jason says, wouldn't that be crazy if he got a job writing skits for BET with this audition? Now he's the racist. Yeah, I mean, they probably would hire him too. They wouldn't even research that. Can we watch the full video? Where's this podcast at? Fighter's advice. We might need. Let's listen to this clip, then we might find the full video.
Was basically how Brazilian's been training forever. It's nothing new to it. They just put a name to it. The people that are just like into butt scooting, they're perfectly happy, and like the nerdy type, like these guys wouldn't survive a day if you showed up to the camera. They would literally make fun of you. Like not the coach, or like your friends would make fun of you. Like, what are you, a model? Because it's Derek Moneyberg, IBJJF black belt. He's not. Now, if IBJJF does not exist, that right there is happening we would have 12-year-old black belts. Once you put that cash in front of them, people are very quick to change and adjust. I'll give you another one. These professional events, which one of them is profitable? Not a single one of them. That's an interesting thing because.
So I'm joined today.
Okay, so ecological is basically how Brazilian's been training forever. It's nothing new to it. They just put a name.
My man said, so just so you guys know, Robert Drysdale was a coach on PGF. He said none of these things are profitable. He might be right. I guess we can't see the full video. I don't know if it's up or anything. Please watch the entire video before commenting. How are we going to watch? I'm not posting no money or nothing in this comments. Where's the video at, Robert Drysdale? Where's the video? I hate to break it to you, they always been here. They've been in the sport since the Gracies. They've been in the sport since the Gracies, man. I'm sorry to break it to you. I know you didn't know that. Oh God, we got a lot of racism on here. Thank you, YouTube. YouTube, I watched one racist video. Now YouTube sending me all the racist stuff. I'm not saying Robert Drysdale's perfect. Can we find the video? Oh, there it is right there. What I'll do, I'll try to make it really small again. That's what I'll try to do. Make it really, hopefully I don't get hit with the copyright strike or some crap, bro.
Okay, so ecological is basically how Brazilian's been training forever. It's nothing new to it. They just put a name to it. The people that are just like into butt scooting, they're perfectly happy, and like the nerdy type, like these guys wouldn't survive a day if you showed up to the camera. They would literally make fun of you. Like not the coach, or like your friends would make fun of you. Like, what are you, a model? Because it's Derek Moneyberg, IBJJF black belt. He's not. Now, if IBJJF does not exist, that right there is happening we would have 12-year-old black belts. Once you put that cash in front of them, people are very quick to change and adjust. I'll give you another one. These professional events, which one of them is profitable? Not a single one of them. that's an interesting thing because.
So I'm joined today by Robert Drysdale, jiu-jitsu legend, 5th degree black.
All the years, and I noticed that these pictures.
We'll try to get through this. We only got like 20 minutes or so. We'll see what we can cover. This is called The Dark Future of BJJ That Nobody Wants to Admit, if you guys want to watch that on your own time. And it's Fighters Advice Podcast. Hopefully they don't hit me with some copyright or something, bro. We're just going to listen to How Money is Corrupting the Sport. I think that's a good one. Yeah, I ain't well, some people do. Not me, though.
Derive from those things.
Right.
And I think jiu-jitsu has all these ingredients in it. You know, so that's a big part of it. Appeal. I was not that optimistic about it getting this big.
Really?
I was like, there's going to be a limit. There's got to be a ceiling. It's like, it doesn't stop. I don't even know where the ceiling is now. I'm like, I hope it keeps growing, helps me.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's just like, this is unusual. Like how much it has grown. Like and not in my wildest dreams that I thought it would get this big.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it's crazy. You have seen and been in the sport through the whole this whole big boom that we've had. So it's really interesting to hear your perspective on that.
I haven't even been that long. Like I mean, I guess 27 years. When you say a quarter of a century, it sounds so much older than I am. But some of these guys have been living it even longer. They've seen even more changes.
Mm-hmm.
I will say one thing though. Like some people, I think a lot of people from the generation that preceded mine, right, the original missionaries, as I call them, the very first people that left Brazil to teach around the world. Not all of them, but many of them were the very first ones to just change and corrupt themselves and go like, oh, I can make money now. Forget those things we used to believe back in Brazil. It's like, oh, there's once you put that cash in front of them, people are very quick to change and adjust.
Yep.
And it's a little disappointing because some of these men, I'm not going to mention names, I used to really admire them. And then just watching them change like that, I'm like, wow, it used to be like someone like my favorites, and now you're like this? I don't care you're rich.
Who are you talking about?
You just lost all my admiration. Like everything you stood for is just gone.
Who are you talking about?
And it's just, now you're a businessman and you're so proud of it. I'm like almost like disgusted. I'm like, ugh. Like I mean, that's what success is. I want the opposite. Like that's not what I want. That's not why I started jiu-jitsu. I feel like a lot of people in my generation have stayed true to the reasons why we started. And I think there's been less, I mean, some you have to adjust to some degree. Like there's no way around it, but you can't concede everything all the time. There's got to be a little like, man, what is it that made jiu-jitsu special in the first place, and not lose that, because those were the key ingredients of success. If you lose those key ingredients, it was like, can you maintain that success? Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of where the conundrum is. Now, my books are about that. Like, what is it that we have lost that actually made jiu-jitsu a global phenom? Like, those ingredients can't change. We have to keep them intact.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because for people to start a gym, they love jiu-jitsu. Yeah. They love jiu-jitsu and they want to share it. And so they open their own gym and they're a gym owner. And then you get into the business side of it. And so it's interesting to see that a lot of people are drawn into that because they just love jiu-jitsu and they want to share it. Yeah. But some people aren't equipped to deal with the business.
I think some people they don't love jiu-jitsu. They love what jiu-jitsu can give them. And to a degree, I was that too, because for a long time I wrestled with this and I go, do I love jiu-jitsu or do I just like obsessed with like proving myself and winning? Like these things can coexist, sure, but at some point, it's like you can root for the Patriots and Green Bay Packers while they're not playing each other. No problem. There's no contradiction there because they're not in conflict. But when they're playing against one another, which team are you going to root for? Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes with these disputes between, let's say, entertainment and education, or between, are you a martial artist or a businessman? Like, you're going to have to make that decision.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to know, like, which values are, like, where the hierarchy, how the hierarchy of priorities is set, how it's framed. Mm-hmm. And I think that's it. It's something that, like in judo, for example, they have it written down.
Yeah.
It's codified. It's not like, oh, it's my opinion. Like you don't have to follow if you don't want to, but like there's no conflict within your, like, oh, what is it that we're doing here? Whereas Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's very democratic. It's up to the individual. It's like the internet. It's custom to what you want. It's the perfect, like the world is customized to what I like, right? It's, again, it has strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up how you feel, or you have felt for a long time, that you might just love jiu-jitsu because you want to prove yourself. Because I wanted to talk about a TEDx talk that you did a little while ago, titled "What is the Point of Winning?"
Yeah.
Where you talk about your realization that.
I kind of want to hear him talk about Moneyberg. Did he not talk about Moneyberg? I do. Oh, he got some good stuff. It says why pro BJ events don't make money, but we're just gonna go right to the Moneyberg situation. And that'll be it for
main force, my opinion. And I'm not saying I don't have my differences with these guys, because I do. But the main force is IBJJF, hands down. They give order and I'll give you an example. What's the guy, the rich guy that got a black belt in 3 years? Everyone's losing their minds.
Yes, Derek Moneyberg.
Okay, everyone's losing their mind. Same people who criticize the IBJJF. I'm like, which one is it, bro? Because it's Derek Moneyberg, IBJJF black belt? He's not. Now, if IBJJF does not exist, that right there is happening we would have 12-year-old black belts if it weren't for them. So when people talk about growth with jiu-jitsu, I'm like, are you guys not paying attention? Take those guys away and see what happens. It turns into a circus even faster. Oh, they're making money. Yeah, and what's the issue? They do a good job, so?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, why are people complaining? Complaining about what? You don't have to. No one's putting a gun to your head. You have to. You can join an organization that actually cares about, does an outstanding job, in my opinion. Or you can just join the circus. Okay, you can. But there's no future in the circus, because it's just not going to last. It's just, there's nothing to it. So I think that these are the forces that are, you see these conflicts, and I think that jiu-jitsu benefits from having order in general and rules and standards. There's a reason why judo's been around for so long, and they're not going anywhere. You can say it's not less entertaining, okay, but like they have structure in place.
That's what they got us.
And I think these things matter.
Yeah, I agree. So I want to get back to jiu-jitsu and MMA. Quick.
All right, guys, we about to hit 250. All right, about 10 more minutes. Sometimes I go a little bit over. I go over a little bit sometimes, depending on what we're doing. Marley, I don't know what you're talking about. LOL Snap got in trouble. LOL Snap thought I couldn't get to him. He thought I didn't have no real power. The Gracie family, Gracie family. Gracie family, bro. Afro-Brazilian Recife, yeah. Gianni is cool. I think Gianni's cool, except for the whole hanging out with Kevon. The whole ecological thing. I like Grippo, except for the whole ecological stuff. Yeah, without all that ecological stuff, he would be good. Let's see what else we got over here. Oh, shoot, I forgot about that. Let me talk about the UFC. Let's talk about the UFC real fast. UFC, okay, give me about 20 more minutes. It says, so UFC Perf ticket sales have been poor, so ticket sales are going down. I wonder why. Says it actually has nothing to do with whether Australians can afford it or not. If they had the exact card and slapped Volkanovski versus Murphy on top of it for a pay-per-view and doubled the ticket prices, it would sell out. People don't want to fly in from Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide, I don't know how to say that, to watch Carlos Ulberg versus Dominique Reyes be the best fight on the card. This is the first Aussie UFC event I will miss in over a decade. I would have loved to go, but the FOMO, fear of missing out, isn't there for this one. What face? My face? Says this 100%. I wouldn't pay for this if I was in Melbourne. It's one of the weakest cards of the year. So Australians don't even want to go to these cards, bro. And they love fighting. It says WWE are stacking their stadium show in Perth with one of John Cena's final matches, and I won't go to that either. WA is paying a lot of money. Who WA? I don't know what that means. WA is paying a lot of money for these events. WWE is paying a lot of money for these events, but getting people to fly over from Darwin, Brizzy, Melbourne, Sydney, Tassie, I don't know what these names are. for them is already asking a massive. Is it already a massive ask with TKO ticket prices, flights, and accommodations? So people not supporting UFC like they were. Some people will still go. So it seems like their Perth show is not doing too well. They thought they could just throw an Aussie in every fight and it would go crazy. But no one knows who 90% of them are. It's cool they're giving more attention to putting national fighters on the card, but it needed more name value. UFC doesn't have as much name value. They ain't got no superstars. Jason Whitfield says, Alec, I saw the look you gave when you said the IBJF cares about its athletes priceless. Did I say that? Do they care about athletes? No, well, they definitely don't care. They care about themselves. Okay, so, I can see the UFC's products watered down. That's what happens when all this money gets infused into these sports. The product gets watered down. They told me to stop bullying content creators before they make a bad video on the gym. That's true. They were right. Danny Chopper says, I thought brother's head was about to explode like in the cartoons after that. What comment did I say? Did Drysdale say that or did I say that? I might have slipped it out by accident though. We got Gable Stevenson. He's going to be fighting. Who the heck is he fighting? He about to fight another sandbag. Well, not a sandbag, a wet bag. Not wet back. I'm not trying to be racist. Tomato can. That's the best way to say it. Tomato can. See, Jeff Glover, that's how you get out of getting out of trouble. So he's gonna be October 30th. Next month he's gonna be fighting. So I guess he's trying to. I don't know. I don't care what Gable Stevenson does. He fighting some dude. If Gable gets knocked out, we're gonna cover that all day. If Gable get knocked out, I'm covering that all day. Says this dude is gonna have a weird career resume when it's all said and done. He already does. NCAA wrestler, Olympic wrestler, WWE pro wrestler, NFL training camp before being cut, MMA, now dirty boxing, all before turning 26, and at least one sexual assault too. Yeah, don't forget about Gable. We didn't talk about Gable Stevenson's background, but he got some allegations too. Says it's kind of a bad look for him that none of the other avenues worked out for him. That's more so him. He seems not reliable and based on interviews doesn't have the charm and charisma to make it work. It seems like he's trying different things just to say he's done it and has no real intention of committing to anything. I wouldn't be surprised if his MMA fight and this dirty boxing match are both one-offs. That's kind of how he does things. He says Olympic medalists are notoriously lazy. Well, Gable is. Guy gets reputations for a reason. Brock came into WWE and NFL with a reputation as a lunatic and hard worker. Meanwhile, Gable did not come out of both leagues with that reputation. All I'm saying, losing the NCAA finals also raised eyebrows. Now again, he's getting scored at a different level, but he has the talent to warrant it. The guy is really good. LL Snap says, I didn't bully you. Are you sure? You said you're going to tap me out, beat me up? You said you're going to send me to Cuba? He says, yeah, I'll clip him saying wetback and send it to me. I have to have some black belt. Why were I already walked it back. Well, I already said this was the racist episode. I already said this was a racist episode. I'm good. I cleared myself. I'm not racist no more. Just like Jeff Glover said. He said he ain't racist no more and he ain't smoked no meth today. That's what he had. Jeff Glover, bro. Yeah, Gable Stevenson, bro. So, whatever. He can do whatever he wants. Now, if he loses and get knocked out, we're going to watch that all day. So prepare yourselves, everybody. If Gable get knocked out, we're going to watch that all day. That's the whole stream. You know how we had the racism stream? We're going to have the Gable Stevenson stream. Gable Stevenson is the Drake of MMA, yeah. Says TKO/UFC want cities to outbid each other in order to host them in their town. And they can't even sell out the Perth show. Man, get out of here, UFC. Oh, that's kind of cool. You can see the shows. You got PFL, Cage Warriors. Is that this weekend? LFA, UFC. I got a lot of stuff going on. It says if we got a St. Louis up against a Des Moines, Iowa, if you want us back there and you've sold out and broken records in both of your arenas, you have to pay for us to come back or else we'll take it to another town. Well, UFC, you might go out of business with that model. Says they didn't want to pay, so we're staying at the Apex. Yeah, they could just stay at the Apex. Says, honestly, stay at the Apex for all I care. I'd be pissed if my city were actively paying these people to make money off of us. I understand that UFC would never let stars fight in the Apex because they need extra gate revenue to fund Dana and the Nelk boys gambling. You know, they be wasting a lot of money gambling. More than UFC fighters make. They gamble more than an average UFC fighter will ever make in the UFC. At the same time, I still feel robbed of getting to see guys like Nick and Nate Diaz fight in an empty arena with no audience. Being able to hear constant shit talking with no audience noise would be priceless. Rampage versus Tito in Japan really sold me on just how wild these dudes are. Rampage was in Tito's guard and hammered him in the body. Absolute thud that was audible to everyone. The ref was checking on Tito when he said in the most exasperated, getting bullied by your older brother, but you can't let him know you're giving up, even though you know you have no chance in hell of succeeding at any. That's a hard thing to say. At anything, voice. No, ref, I'm okay. The toughness / delusion was mind-boggling. You guys know I don't like the UFC. Just go to Abu Dhabi, then UFC. They will. Sports washing is the plan for the next decade. What is sports washing? What does that mean? It says, I heard him too. He did say wet bag. I said, what? Wet bag. Wet bag. I said wet bag. I ain't racist no more. That's what Eddie Bravo and Jeff Glover said. I'm gonna say it too. That's my defense. That's all you guys need. You guys giving me a harder time than you gave those guys. Says the greedy only get greedier. Seriously, these guys aren't good people in any sense. It's also bad business. The UFC took a sort of Dollar General approach growing the sport, targeting smaller markets that the major sports leagues weren't serving. Hosting events in those locations wasn't about making money on the live gate. It was about building the brand. They built it, and now they're abandoning their customer base. That's what they do. And the chat room the chat room is rebelling against me because I said wet bag, everybody, wet bag. Maybe I should have said wet blanket. That's what I meant to say. Gotta love when companies who pay hardly any taxes come out and ask for money from your taxes. Their greed has no end. Not necessarily. Best way to fight this is to stop commenting, watching highlights, or digesting any media regarding the UFC. Well, they're going to do that to themselves. Next is to start watching a competitor. Start watching events, highlights, and subscribe to their channels. It says, I love talking up ONE FC, particularly their events are available on Prime. Yeah, I mean, UFC going to do whatever they want. TKO has absolutely endless greed. Just look at what the same dude said about WWE ticket prices recently. What did they say about that? All right, I got to dip in a little bit, everybody. Let me see what the UFC or what TKO said. Is there a video? I want to see the video. I don't want to. Is that the right thing?
Thanks for checking out this video.
Is that the right thing? Is the ad? Oh, freaking. If I got to watch an ad, I'm not going to do it.
Don't forget, like and subscribe. Claudio Okada had a face to.
All right, great. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to join us today. We'll get started with our next session. It's a pleasure to welcome back to the Communicopia and Technology Conference this year Mark Shapiro, the President, COO, and COO of TKO Holdings. Mark, thank you for taking the time to be with us today.
Great to be with you.
Great. Maybe starting high level, Mark, and this Friday is the 2-year anniversary of TKO, and the company's executed against many of the initiatives that I remember speaking with you about 2 years ago when you first combined WWE and UFC together, streamlining the operations, growing sponsorship, live events, and more recently, renegotiating many of your media rights deals on improved terms. Maybe just thinking about all that you've executed against and how the TKO story has progressed from here, would be curious to get your latest sense of what makes you most excited at this point looking forward and where we are in the arc of the growth strategy.
Yeah, look, I think one of the things that can really kill a company is hubris, especially in the management team, the leadership, the culture. So we are highly sensitive to that, and antennas are up high. As recently as you and I sitting here last year, and I would tell you that the strategy is playing to form, really, starting with the media rights, which, a year ago it was what's going to happen here, UFC, is ESPN going to come back, are you going to get that deal, and WWE
Just gonna listen a little bit.
obviously smaller from a PLE standpoint, but nonetheless a big deal, and our premier events in the portfolio. And what we did really is go out and beat on both, significantly beat on both. We're thrilled with the new deal that we have on UFC, which is 7 years and obviously $1.1 billion, which is at 2 times what we were getting in the ESPN deal. We were fortunate to have a lot of bidders in the deal, which obviously drove up the demand and drove up the price and allowed us to really capitalize and score on that. And I'm sure we can talk more about Paramount at length later on. And then on the PLE front, look, that deal wasn't up till the end of April. And instead, we are launching September 20th. Next weekend, we're launching in Indianapolis with a brand new franchise, which we hope will be an annual recurring franchise in WrestlePalooza. And that was at a 1.8 times. And if you really look at a lot of the rights and revenue streams we were able to either claw back or retain, it's really closer to a 1.9 is the way we penciled it out. So, that's a winner for us. So just all in all, you're looking at long-term media deals, long-term, right? Recurring, stable revenue streams with escalators across the board. Excel, by all parts and definition, launches this Saturday, UFC respectively. Well, look, I can't say enough about ESPN. I mean, they were an extraordinary partner on the UFC. A lot of our growth, the fact that we're mainstream and we're so young and we're so diverse and we're so global, has a lot to do with the marketing machine that is the Walt Disney Company. Period, end of story. They are the definitive authority and stage when it comes to sports. Having said that, we knew they were not going to be there at the price we wanted for UFC. So while we had conversations, and across the timeline, there was a time where they might have come in for some of the numbered events, which are the pay-per-views, or some of the fight nights, or all of the fight nights. They were always in the mix, and they wanted to be in the mix. And Bob Iger and Jimmy Pitaro are huge fans of the UFC, and they have a great personal relationship with us and with Dana White. So we never ruled them out, but big way, YouTube in a big way, Netflix in a big way, DAZN in a big way. I mean, there were a lot of visionaries, really. They are at the forefront of what it says is sports is first for them. Since grow our reach, grow our brand, and monetize our brand is enormous for us. And that they'll, of course, use CBS as a Barker channel to not just retain subscribers of P+, but really grow the P+ subscriber base, which is huge for us. They wanted something that was year-round. They wanted an antidote to churn, and they wanted something that was global because they're chasing global subs. And we fit the bill.
Along the story of media rights, there's a few other media rights properties out there at the moment up for renegotiation, or will be coming up for renegotiation. UFC International, PBR.
Of course, it was Peacock, and now it'll be ESPN. But it would have been all of it. And one of the foundational strategies and justification for spending what we spent in stock, really, to get IMG into the TKO equation was because they are the global leader in sports. UFC globally was in our best interest. Frankly, we thought they would do better than Netflix. 6 of the 8 fights, one is we've got a Saudi fighter coming in, so it's not part.
You're just thinking about the longer term plan for boxing. So you mentioned 2 to 4 fights ramping up over the next year or so, potentially layering in media rights on the back of that. I guess as you see execution, both over the next 12 months in boxing and then
stable of 200 fighters, which we expect to have. Now, I'll remind you, we're talking about two different things here. Zuffa Boxing, which will be our league, will be about 12 to 16 fights per year, and we are in the market right now selling media rights to those 12 to 16 fights. And then we will monetize that across the board, again, in partnership with the Saudis. Separate and apart from that will be these super fights like Canelo Crawford that we have this weekend, where we're working for a fee to be essentially their promoter and their producer and their media rights seller of the business. So we're going to take a bite of both.
Taking a bite of everything.
And we're gonna try to put this on super acceleration.
There ain't gonna be no Apple left for anybody else.
Because the most popular question that I get on the road from investors is, okay, before we can even breathe or smell the roses on the media rights deals, is okay, you've got the media rights deal, great. You're going to break $400 million on global partnerships, which is ahead of our internal forecast.
Okay, all right.
Nothing hotter these days than live events.
Who getting some of that money though?
Not just sports, music as well. So I'm trying to be objective there, but we're seeing no slowdown. A little more than that, but that'll play out over the course of 26. These are focused on sustainable long-term EPS growth, and that all equates to the bottom line where it benefits shareholders as long as we are pushing those returns.
They just care about their shareholders. They don't care about you fighters.
That's going to happen. We doubled our dividend last week, and we're embarking upon a buyback program every days, which I barely remember. We were at $30 million, $30 to $40 million is what UFC was doing. UFC is now knocking on the door of $300 million in global partnerships.
All right.
And then, of course, WWE is coming up the rear, adding to that, and we should surpass 400. Our goal was 375, but we should surpass 400. Same thing too. All right. Contractual, stable, escalators, recurring, a good place to be in. More and more brands, especially as these two properties become more mainstream, want to be involved with us. So you take the UFC deal that you're talking about. We've got all in broadcast integration. So all broadcast integration we control.
These people don't care about the fighters at all. Revenue,
then, of
shareholders,
course, our IP in terms of
escalators,
aisles and consumer products we control.
What's the escalator?
And then on top of that, we'll have the 2 minutes an hour. Now, I would tell you, for both the WWE on ESPN and this deal, we'll probably use one of the 2 minutes to do institutional. So we'll use it as a marketing vehicle, at least in Europe. And let's not forget Netflix. They're still doing, obviously, Raw,
Netflix,
strong launches. We're here to talk about more marketing. Let's expand our margins. Let's bring in that free cash flow, and let's get it back to the shareholders. And if stuff comes up along the way, terrific. In the meantime, we're launching boxing, and that's like an acquisition all by itself.
On live events, you guys have spent the better part of the last 2 years optimizing some of the capacity around UFC and WWE, optimizing some of the pricing. You mentioned the fight this weekend. Ticket prices are very impressive in terms of what they're going for. I think it shows the demand at the upper end of the spectrum. Maybe you could just give us a lay of the land of where you see the consumer at today, where you see demand for live events today, and then looking ahead, room for further optimization on maybe up-tiering venues, up-tiering pricing. Where's the bigger growth opportunity for TKO at the moment?
On Location is internally on plan for this year.
I'm the cancer of the sport.
Sales from Milan are going really well. With the Olympics, the World Cup, and the Super Bowl, it hopefully doesn't stadium, so it's not apples to apples. And of course, they have a lot more volume with Raw and SmackDown and NXT happening on a weekly basis, 52 weeks a year. But having said that, we know we have a lot of room there because Vince McMahon was primarily
that's what I was looking for.
Pricing tickets for families and wasn't totally focused on maxing the opportunity there. And now that we've seen what we can do with UFC, we're replicating that in terms of ticket yield and holding back and advanced sales when it comes to On Location.
Did you guys hear that? I don't know if I can go back. Let me play that one more. This is all I was looking for. Vince McMahon priced the tickets for the WWE for families, and they're like, you know what? Screw them families, screw them kids. We want more profit.
Big part of driving that. And we know we have more room to go. Why do we know that? Because UFC is breaking records everywhere they go. The last numbered event in Chicago was the highest grossing event in the history of the United Center, dating back through the Michael Jordan days. I mean, the highest grossing event. And they're already at the table trying to get another fight for next year. And we're just a couple weeks post. And so WWE, which granted their PLEs are mostly in stadiums, so it's not apples to apples. And of course, they have a lot more volume with Raw and SmackDown and NXT happening on a weekly basis, 52 weeks a year. But having said that, we know we have a lot of room there because Vince McMahon was primarily pricing tickets for families and wasn't totally focused on maxing the opportunity there.
There we go.
Now that we've seen what we
Let me read this one last thing, and that'll be it. LO Snap said, I'm the cancer in this sport. Well, yeah, the good kind of cancer. They wish they had someone like me. This man canceled 15 companies and about 20 jiu-jitsu guys. Message coach to put some restrictions on me and turn the fight nervous. I didn't know I had so much power. That little snap that I couldn't reach him. I got him. I got him. He thought he was safe from me. You ain't safe. LOL snap thought he was safe. He ain't safe for me. Let me read this real quick and that'll be it. Let me jump out of here. 3:15. We going bonus time. It says not only what did they say? Says to them, maximizing profits is good PR because they only care about the opinions of their stockholders. They don't care. I didn't hear anything about the athletes getting paid more. I didn't hear anything about you people fighting. The fighters or nothing. They didn't care about you. You a product. Says there's also a huge prestige thing. Dave talked about how UFC was this huge get. If the guy got $1,000 tickets as opposed to just $100 or $200 cheap stuff, it then attracts all the shitty crowd who care about that sort of thing. These companies can die. These companies don't care about you. They care about your money, though. It's like how they announce a record gate for a venue. Is that supposed to make anyone happy? Then the people cheer like, yeah, I got paid $2,000 for these nosebleeds. I paid $2,000 for these nosebleeds at the random house show. It says, right, these people aren't human. They have been subsumed by corporate culture where a happy family is a detriment to profit. So Vince McMahon was trying to price things for the family to go. He says, because happy people don't buy things to distract themselves from their daily life, but they don't realize they are ruining their product. They're going to ruin the UFC. They are ruining the UFC. They're ruining their product's image and brand, let alone not keeping enough people interested in the product. They don't care. They want the profit now. Shareholders want the profit now. They don't want it later. Short term might bring in slightly more profit, but this is probably going to hurt long term. Not only that, but they inadvertently made McMahon out to be reasonable. They made McMahon look reasonable. Bonus time. I'm trying to get out of bonus time. McMahon is an absolute POS and a monster, but this press release makes him sound like a guy who genuinely wanted families to spend time together. And now this ghoul is saying, hey, we need to end all of that because this billion, probably $1 trillion company doesn't make enough money. LOL. That's the sport, bro. And this is the company you guys want to support with UFC, BJJ, and all the athletes can't wait to sign up for UFC. And I'm like, man, they don't give a crap about you. You're gonna make your $10,000, but you're gonna sell your soul for that $10,000. Says Vince in his personal life is an asshole. He was also an asshole in his business life. However, he did hold on to some of the old ways of doing things. He wanted profit, but he didn't maximize it at all cost of. He didn't maximize it at the cost of all else. Come on, people. This greed is killing this world out here. You didn't see the excessive ticket prices under him or excessive advertising. He paid ECW a stipend to keep it going when he could have just rated them like WCW. He kept draws on the company payroll until 2023 to ensure he still had some income, and he paid for the rehab of all kind of wrestlers, even those that never drew him a dime, yet at the same time stiffing them by pretending they were independent contractors. UFC did that too. A complicated man capable of despicable acts that nevertheless wasn't fully a corporate ghoul like all of those TKO people. People rightly wanted Vince out of the company for his crimes and his utterly awful and outdated booking, but I don't think they realized how he was holding back some of the excessive corporate America, or the excesses of corporate America. So yeah, that's what you guys be supporting. That's where your money goes towards. So that's it. LL Snap says, man, I'm your only donator. That's not true. You're not the only person donating. Some other people donate, but I don't say anything. Maybe I should say something when they donate. I got a lot of donators. I appreciate your money. He said he harasses me. No, you were harassing me, saying you go tear my leg off. You said you're going to treat me like Cody Steele. It's all good, man. It's all good. You're okay. We didn't hurt you. I know I didn't hurt your feelings. I didn't do anything. Now, if you got in trouble, that's on you. All I said was, hey, you know this guy over there talking some stuff? Okay, that's all I said. That's all I said. I didn't say nothing. I didn't attack you. I didn't say nothing. I just said, hey, you know this guy?